Chịu mẹ. This channel is dead. Trust me. Kênh chết rồi. Được rồi. Mà sao kênh này còn 3,36 người đăng ký vậy? What the fuck? Kênh bị nguyền rồi. Cứ thế là đéo ổn rồi. Fuck. 3,36. Được đấy. Dương kênh số đẹp. Để xem có gì hot không. Đây có gì hot thật. Vấn đề gì là xấu à? Không biết. Kiểu kênh có một sự kiện rất là ngẫu nhiên, khá là nhiều. Nhà đang có gọi CS là xem thắm chuyện phát.
Another spell trap off the board.
Sân mẹ đấu Skyfaker đấu với Q2 nữa. Tôi đang chưa xem tình huống này lắm, rồi ra Lenny còn dùng nháy rồi.
Get rid of the Fallen and the Virtuous.
It's not over yet, but that's a lot of resources down.
But is it the damage? You know,
Chuyện gì xảy ra mà nhiều
notably
cái
has another copy of Engage in their hand to follow up with, plus the linkage that was added back. So definitely a lot of action on his turn. He can make it back there. But can Dominic get the damage to close it out? I'm not sure.
Well, we still have the Ray around, but she's not going to be doing much since the card wasn't destroyed.
All right, so I think it's 41 plus 28, so it's going to be 69 damage total.
Vẫn không nhiều
Ryan
hơn
at
thế.
1100 life points as they begin their turn with that draw.
Bốc
That's what
bài.
we can do. We did a pretty good job of dismantling the board the first time, but now we got a Zaylan to deal with. And it's showing that RS is a bit of a bothersome with two.
Con này cho chống target, cho tuner trên sân. Cho anh bạn này phải ngồi đọc tiếp. Bởi vì không nhận ra là con đấy thực sự là vậy. Khó nhỉ? Cho tất cả quái vật tuner đang chống target và có hai con này trên sân, tức là cả sân chống target. Mẹ điên rồi. Kẻ thù Skyfaker có hai con chống target liên tục.
Looks like we are going to go ahead and summon Sky Striker Race Rose.
That's really good. So now Ryan does not have to quote unquote waste his engage to get a monster. He can just use it to get more powerful spell cards. Are we eyeing Superstar Taylor Typhon?
Yeah.
That does stop the RS and just goes ahead and battles the Zaylan and gets it completely off the board because no chains have happened, just a summon. Very impressive here from Ryan. Now, he's going to not be able to summon for the rest of the turn, but he kind of doesn't need to. He can now return, dismantle the board from there and keep going.
Typhon is sort of a controversial card among duelists. Some people say, you know, hey, if you're in a losing position, why do you have that card in your deck anyway? Why don't you go ahead and up your game? But here, you know, with Sky Striker always trying to navigate through various dangerous situations. This is exactly what this card is for, right? Getting rid of the biggest monster on the field and being able to destroy something by battle feels pretty good.
Ủa, con này chưa đủ cộng.
Yep, so here we see the loudness. We're here going to go ahead and
con này chưa đủ ATK đấy à?
To get rid of the Typhon there, but then of course the RS is going to be non-target bounce.
Dùng Laudet Gu
Now we're just going to go ahead and go for some engage. Get some draws, get some ads.
Bây giờ phải sút hết đi. Bốc một là bài. Chỉ còn cách này thôi.
So still back and forth game. 20-minute game one, but still anybody's game because you know Sky Striker can do it. They can make it all the way back. So we're going to go ahead and win this game here.
This limit is going to be so huge for Ryan, not only recycling the very much needed resources for his deck, but also getting rid of even more of Dominic Couch's follow-up, because essentially, once these Loudness Wars are gone, what does Dominic have? One card in hand and some cards in yard? I mean, he's already banished most of his good names from the yard anyway. This is going to be so huge for Ryan, basically leaving it on a completely empty board here for both players, but this is where the Striker deck wants to be, because I have cards that can draw cards. Do you?
Oh, wow. It's a simplified game state indeed. So we'll see what cards Dominic ends up drawing off the top of the deck. He's used so many resources so far. There's two Platoon Signals in the graveyard, so off the top of the deck, that's not bad. It's a Platoon mix.
Một con Rico. Rico chắc chắn cho Unprepared
Ground luôn. We have a known Widow Anchor for... No, we have a known linkage for Ryan because we
normal
added that
mix
back to their
cho
hand
foreign
with the
ground ngay,
Trackmaker. And
không
there's
phải cho
the
nó sống
Forbidden
được.
Crown to negate the mix. It can't attack. And we're going to use the linkage here to get access to 0 and get even more cards added to our hand and potentially increase our overall defense for the rest of the turn. Also, one other big important thing about Forbidden Crown is not only is that monster unaffected, it can't be used for material of any kind of monster. And there was going to stick up for Dominic. That was his last push, his last hurrah, and Ryan was able to grind him down. And wow, what an impressive game one. Like you said, it was 23 minutes long, but it kind of needed to be every single one of those minutes for Ryan to just eat through every bit of interaction that Dominic could put up, giving him that game one win.
Yeah, famously, the most important life point was the last one, and Sky Striker is able to hold on for dear life, and does it. So Ryan Yu is the winner of this game, and it shows you the power of Sky Striker to be able to just outmaneuver. Many people consider the deck of the format. Not so. Really, you can play anything as long as you play it as skillfully as Ryan did. Yeah, and Dominic was kind of going for a line there, which was maximizing his number of interactions with going for those multiple loudness wars, giving him ways to reutilize a lot of his powerful main monster effects over and over again to kind of dismantle the advantage that Ryan was building up. But unfortunately, that left too much damage on the table. Or should I say, not enough damage on the table to actually close up the game. And so there might have been an option for him to play more aggressively with his cards and go for something like a B2B line to close it out after he got rid of all those cards from Ryan. But in all fairness, without those loudness wars, could he have eaten up all those cards? Hard to say. A little friendly banter among the duelists as they get ready for the next game. When you go to enough of these tournaments, these duelists become your friends, because that's the real thing about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. You are forced to sit across from somebody for up to 50 minutes. You are going to get to know that person. If you play more tournaments, you're really going to get to know that person. And these people have competed in the same circles for many, many years. Maybe fewer than some, I think are pretty young, but at the same time, they know what's going on. Yeah, they know how each other play. Did you hear that?
Ryan
still has the Shizuku Dominic Couch signs. That's adorable. Yeah, these guys have been playing for a long time against each other and probably together as well. So it's going to be really nice to have a duel amongst friends, a duel amongst rivals.
Hoặc là chỉ giảm cân thôi, đừng không nên nói thế, dù nó cũng khá thế. Friendly banner, duelist a few words, but you can tell that they still are friends. Ông người quốc tịch Mỹ mà. They had to make sure that they, just remind each other, hey, you're a human being. I'm trying to win, but I'm not trying to beat you, man. Yeah, the goal for one of them is to make the other one X2, which is not a nice place to be, but it's definitely a place where you can give respect to the other side. Oh, yeah. That's what this game's all about. Try your best. And Dominic, while he lets out a lengthy sigh, I think he still will be in a good position as he starts off going first at Game 2 here. YCS Columbus, our first round of the day, round 10 of the advanced format. Yep, and time again, I've said it once, I say it 1,000 times. Really important in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! To break serve. Meaning, when you're going second, you win. And Ryan was able to do that in game 1. So even if this game 2 gonna go south, you still have an option in game 3 to choose to go first and maximize the amount of advantage and disruption he can put on Dominic's field. But here we go, Dominic's beginning their turn with a draw phase. Platoon Synchro here, it looks like. Probably just gonna use the add effect. That's what's really powerful about this play, sort of reinforcement of the army like effects. But if he wants to, he can also
đọc comment các bạn
go
phát.
for a synchro summon and go for cards like Trackmaker and stuff in the drop phase to
Anh
get
có
more
vấn 36.
into his deck. But he's not going to choose to do that.
Mày có vấn đề gì với 36?
So we're going to go ahead and kênh đang 3,36 sắp đấy. Comes up later. Yep, that'll be the additional normal with Rotary as well as the sync into a level 8.
Tôi nghĩ ông chơi Q-Toon nên hit the gym hoặc chỉ cần kế hoạch giảm cân. Sao bạn lại nói người khác như thế? Đâu để xem như nào nào. Hôm nào ông chơi Q-Toon đấy thì hôm nào ông chơi Q-Toon đâu vào YouTube cho xem. Mày không share ra đây à? Mày nhìn qua màn hình này, bố ai biết được là ông ấy thế nào. Để tao tua lại. Tao tua lại livestream.
Nhìn hết tay rồi. Cầm in-game, cầm Ray Row.
Ủa, ông này ấy là cần kế hoạch giảm cân. Chắc chắn luôn anh em ơi.
Lấy counter trap với cả lấy Kutusicho, dẫn đường Kutusicho nữa.
Going to be adding, we use the additional normal summoning on our Rotary, so getting access to Q here is pretty awesome to go into the rest of our cool
biết bên kia tay kinh lắm rồi nên là phải lấy QE thôi, lấy QE và set up
pretty much every main character card, right? We've seen Medius, we've seen Albaz,
deck branded Sky được gì ấy.
Branded Sky nó chỉ là bảo Tết TV, ý là nhét Tết TV rồi đấy.
I'll tell you what.
Bọn Tây hay tính Tây deck kiểu vậy á?
Dominic trying to become his own, vying for the YCS.
Bọn nó không bao giờ ghi được deck tên deck của ta.
And Cool Tune Mix's effect is going to
Mix
add
nhảy
from the
effect.
deck another card. Let's see what we grab. It's going to be Cool
Lấy
Tune
cue.
Rotary.
I mean, this is
Không
the,
có
the
Rotary
situation
chứ
you
còn
love
để
to
Rotary
use,
nhầm.
Dominic. You saw my opponent's hand there. I saw no more disruption for
Dùng
the
tiếp
rest of the
Rotary
turn.
để
I
lên,
can just fully pop off here if I need
Jack
to.
Maker.
Gonna go for that track maker. Gonna
Jack
get the
Maker
effective
nhảy
tutor. Gonna
que.
get the top deck now.
Kiểm tra top deck.
Call by the Grave plus Radiant Typhoon Vision.
Chắc là
That is a
để
little tricky, actually. Call by the Grave is
mình để chỉ
important,
tay lên,
but
mình để chỉ tay lên cũng
we're
được.
gonna get rid of the vision,
Ba con
yeah.
vision đi và để
I
chỉ
mean,
tay top deck.
it just represents cards that Dominic cannot play
Đúng rồi.
around, whereas now
Nó
he
chỉ tay
knows,
ra không
okay,
tác dụng
cool,
như
one of
thế
the
này
cards
lắm.
I need to take into account is Call by the Grave. I can do that.
you can play around just because of the information.
Exactly. And here we see the JJ Cool Tune Field Spell getting grabbed here. This will be a nice piece of extension for Dominic if he wants to utilize it as such.
Get that additional
Lấy
level
nếu
summon
mà
of the tuner. and
nếu
you
mà
can
nếu mà
tribute a tuner
nếu mà
to
ta
summon
thấy
the Cool Tune
nếu phải
monster.
chơi đoạn này ấy, nên ôi cầm hai râu à? Giờ mới để ý. Một TTV hai
Think
râu, một
about all the cards you
móc,
have to
một
deal with,
in-game.
any gates, maybe a
Oadida
steal,
rồi. Trên top deck chỉ
certainly
tay.
the Fall and the Virtuous.
Oadida.
Prohibition! This is a Prohibition! And we're just gonna scoop it up
yeah.
as
Prohibiting.
you. He said the two cards in his hand that I
Prohibiting.
wanted to use. It doesn't even matter because essentially of the 5-card hand for
Tay
Ryan,
in-game.
3 of them
Một con
indicated
hổ-
by the Vanadium
một con hổ
for
râu.
Prohibition. And
Yeah, my deck is awesome.
yep. I guess that's one powerful card that gets unlocked for cool that other decks don't get to utilize because if you know my opponent's hand,
Kêu tôi xin châu.
Prohibition could just be like,
Tôi hiểu
that's
sao
a
rồi.
pretty good one. Knock it off.
Điên quá.
Look at the warmth on Dominic's face. I think
Kiểu
he
à?
certainly come to life
Chắc là
after
kêu tôi
that
xin châu,
one.
tức là tay nó ta còn đoán Harmonia
Oh
đi
my
để mà
gosh,
cố gắng vào like nhìn
That
tay
is
nó
just
sớm nhất
so
có thể.
funny. Ryan
Nói
instantly
chung ấy
goes,
là một
yeah,
video này ấy là muốn
stop
nhìn
playing
thấy sớm nhất
aces
có
ago
thể.
to show me those. Let's go ahead and go to game 3.
Để tí nữa
I love the Prohibition
Kiểu
stuck
ăn
its
không
way
biết
in the
đấy.
format. It does make
Thôi
sense.
ông ấy
You know,
tôi
we
ông
have
sẽ
the
tận dụng điều đó
information
xong đấy,
of Cool
ông sẽ
Tune
dùng
that he is
Prohibiting
an
để
IO side deck
đúng
card.
sắc
That is
đúng
just
chính xác cả
cool to see.
Yeah, we've seen cards like that or Salesman kind of be popular, but more to protect your strategy from being interrupted rather than
Balance gameplay.
completely shutting down your opponent's
Yeah.
strategy, which
Này
is
đéo
what
ổn rồi.
we use it for this event.
Calm
But
down,
that's
Max.
just beautiful.
Awesome.
Calm down,
Này,
Max.
kèo này đéo ổn rồi các bạn ạ.
It's like
Ông này chơi Prohibiting chịu rồi. Đây là
You're
Sweet
like,
ra
let me
10
guess,
nhá.
you have this card in your hand. How about this one?
Yeah, same type of stuff.
Well, seems like he had something
I love
very
Cool
good
Tune.
to stop.
What a
But
cool deck.
Dude's awesome.
Mấy ông này điện đánh ra.
both of them sort of
Might actually
using.
be my favorite deck of all time.
Yeah, it really might be mine.
Yeah.
Ooh, they're kind of talking about
I'm
some
not
of their
even
favorite
trolling.
decks.
Này view quá nhỉ?
I love this deck.
Alright, well, I am.
Tao vừa nói thế tụt mẹ 6 mắt.
So,
Được rồi.
Ryan
Like ngay cho tao.
being honest there, maybe he doesn't like Cool Tune.
Đâu,
It's
30
okay
này,
to
vừa
dislike
tụt
a
xong
deck
ấy.
that you just
Tao
lost to.
trên này tao ghi
But
tao sáu.
Dominic, you know, he seems like this deck is an
Like
interesting
tao.
deck to play, but Ryan almost predicting that he's not going to
Giải
draw
đi đây.
any cards here.
Round 1. I was like,
I mean, he went
Giải
from
này là
drawing double rose,
ITG.
double prohibition, to now going
I
into
had a
game
streak
3
of
and
losing
shuffling
round
up.
one every
We also went from a 23 plus minute game 1 to a 2-minute game 2.
Mình đang là
So, he's
3.360 sub.
in the seat of, well, maybe if I go first, the game will be a little bit different.
When you've seen as many duels as Ryan has with his favorite deck, Sky Striker, or at least the deck he's played the most, you know that, yeah, at any
Các bạn
moment
không
you can
nói
be
để
like,
ý
no,
ông
this
Ryan
isn't doing
này với hai
anything I
cái
want it to. So, to a degree, it's just between him and his deck, right? Will you give me the cards I need
What
to
did I do to
possibly have a
deserve
chance
this?
of this duel or not?
I don't know why people don't play that card.
Prohibition? Because it's bad.
It's going to be
It's so
exciting
good.
here. We'll see how it shakes out
Hey,
between these two
look at
players.
Xem
Oh,
nào.
I love the
Literally,
banter.
that could be literally any go for side card you would have won.
But it was Prohibition.
You actually didn't even need the 2 prohibitions in hand for how bad my hand is.
Yeah, it's true.
Còn bao nhiêu
Ryan,
phút?
like,
Còn bao nhiêu
trust
phút bên này?
My hand was not being used at all.
Còn
Don't even
khoảng
worry
tầm
about
10
it.
phút rồi.
You're like,
15 phút gì đấy. Tầm khoảng tầm 15 phút trong game xong cái
To
bách
be
này.
on the to be a fly on the wall in the LGSs of duelists all over the world, it would be a dream of mine.
I'm literally Kung Fu Panda.
yeah,
I mean, they still go to the local game store. They still go to their official tournament store. They still duel at their weeklies. So this is just that vibe, you know, when you get two comfortable competitors who have been going for a long time. They just kind of hang out like it's just another day at the shop. So let's get to it. It's
Đến
game
game ba.
3.
Và tôi
Let's
đều
see
biết
who
cái ai
comes
trước
out
nữa.
alive. And maybe if Ryan was too much of a pessimist, maybe his hand will be all right.
I'll tell you what, cards like Prohibition get a lot worse when you're going
Vậy
second.
là-
So
Yes.
something tells me Dominic is not going to be including those
Ai
cards
sẽ
in his deck for
phơi
this game
đây?
3, whereas Ryan gets to fully play out the Sky Striker deck as intended.
Well, you know.
typical.
Vậy là sao đi trước úp
he
hai
might have been
pattern à?
right.
Úp hai sớm pattern
Maybe he
tay
has
cầm
the
xuân.
Millennium Necklace there.
A set 2 pass from Ryan is not what you
I
want to
said
see
to
here,
pat.
but
Lại đi
lightning storm
to.
on
Thôi
those
xong
2 set
rồi.
cards.
Oadida
We may
úp
not be able to
hai.
play Prohibition,
Tay
but
còn
we
giữ
sure
cả
can play a
Falling
lot more
Ground cơ.
powerful cards for going second.
TTV bắn
the
luôn
Virtuous
bắn
there,
luôn con
sending the
Raystorm
Albion to
đi
the
để mà
graveyard,
tí nữa
sort
có
of
một
threatening,
TTV
hey,
khác.
if you can't destroy me this turn, at
Vất
least
vào
I'll be able
Falling
to send
Ground.
another Fall in the
Ai
Virtuous
xì
next
báo.
turn.
Ooh,
Em biết
there was
được
an
băng là
official Magnum up there on
Chết,
the
ăn cắn trước
no
con này
longer
rồi.
being the graveyard
Em thấy
and
không
giving the
không.
mag body to Dominic.
Do you know who's famously a dragon and a tuner? Hydraulis Harmonia. What a great
No,
choice with the Steel
quê.
Magma, but we're going to get the cool tune there. Will be
Ura-chan.
stuck with the Ash
Chỉ tay
There's the handshake because Dominic can get more than enough damage here to go for game. And that is a run back of 1-2
at least.
for Dominic Couch.
And there was the pot of desires.
I'd Ash.
He was, and he had Ash, so Dominic Couch really having the
Ash
checkmate there.
Wow, the Q+4 non-engine to completely stop Ryan's entire turn going first. You hate to see it there.
Well, it's time to sign the sacred slip, but Dominic Couch is your winner here. Don't worry, Dragon Duel World Champion Ryan Yu. You are going to do well no matter what.
Yeah, both these, even though Ryan did lose his game, he is still perfectly in contention to make top 8 for the rest of the tournament. And given how well he did on day 1, I'm sure it's more than likely. It's never a bad idea to put a bet on Ryan Yu. Let's just say that.
Well, great sportsmanship there. And Dominic is going to go ahead and sit down the headset, and the duelists are just going to chillax for a moment. But wow, the energy there was just, so every day until you saw, oh my goodness, I've got every single thing I need. Goodbye.
100%. And that's what the power of the side deck is. It's like, once I know, guaranteed I'm going first / guaranteed I'm going second, and I have perfect information of what my opponent's playing.
Kiểu cầm ra một lá bài bố đời và bố thiên hạ xong rồi win the game. Why? Mẹ bây giờ nói chung là tôi bú phêm rồi đoạn quay chết đoạn đầu không rồi tôi đéo biết giờ làm gì, bởi vì chúng ta sẽ phải đợi một thời gian nữa mới có round kế tiếp chẳng hạn. Đây này. What the fuck? Sao lại đoạn này? Hết rồi à? Ôi, tôi xem đúng lúc hết à?
I don't think anybody can any given matchup, but today it was Dominic's day.
I mean, that game 1 truly could have been won by anybody had Dominic. Hãy xem tí mấy match up của Oxyger đi, bạn đang chán. Con kèo nào hay để xem nào. What the fuck? What's the deck? Deck Blue Eye đối với deck FTK. Từ lúc ra con linh 5 kia ấy, tôi chưa bao giờ thấy cái mẹ gì bình thường. Normal Burley nháy tốt. Đặt set là set. Set có lốt đi lốt rồi mẹ, tôi phải nghĩ set con gì vào hộ đó vậy. Đây có thằng này có Harmonia, có một con gì đấy Sage, một con Richard, một con này là Deep Eye à? Con Deep Eye. Ông bên kia thì cứ nghĩ con lốt đi lót này làm cái gì chịu bố rồi. Và lần từ bên Nhật từ playmat nhỏ thấy á, đây là playmat để dành riêng cho việc các bạn đi dụ giống đi nhét vào đồ trong túi á. Tức là cái playmat là kích cỡ riêng, được thiết kế kích cỡ riêng chỉ để các bạn nhét vào túi sách đấy. Không phải là tức là nó có cả hai loại playmat, là playmat như này và playmat tiêu chuẩn. Thì không phải là nó chỉ có cái này đâu. Cái bác này chỉ phục vụ cho việc các bạn chơi ấy thôi, để mang một túi bé mang theo, còn cái này chỉ cần cuộn lại là xong. Nhìn thấy đâu tiện phết đấy. Và nhân tiện đây là playmat official nhé, tức là playmat của Konami nhé, không phải là ông muốn in như thế đâu. Nháy sốt một lá bài tuner level 1 à? Là ai tuner level 1? Sốt Rory là hay này. Trên xuân vào. Ông mày đang nghĩ rằng bên này không có Sage đâu. Xong rồi bố đồ thua à? Bố đồ thua à? Nhầm, tôi bắt đầu líu lưỡi mẹ rồi. Lật này lên, sốt là Deal Beam.
Linh 1 Lodi Lot. Không, con này là Berry. Nhầm. Lên con lấy con Spirit. Con ai Blue gì đó quên mẹ tên. Đấy là bài Field. Monocin of White. Lấy bài kích hoạt bành trướng lãnh địa. Không, normal có vật đi. Nháy search Maiden. Và cái thế trận xong rồi. Sáu 2 chia 25 là cái gì cơ? Hả? Đấy, chá lấy con này cho chỉ vào tới tăng công cho chỗ đấy. Sợ chiều rộng thôi thì tiêu giải cái đấy, mục đích là để cuộn lại được mà, cuộn lại vào túi được mà, chứ không phải là cuộn lại ba lô đâu. Hồi sinh lại này. Vision code Rubim là đẹp, đáng ra tôi nên code Rubim từ đầu là đẹp ấy, bởi vì sao? Đó sẽ là ông mới úp lại Rubim lại, bởi vì mình có Prima trên sân. Đáng ra mình nên thế. Chứ giờ Vision để giữ sáng mai à? Bởi vì tôi thấy là mình có thể xuất được con Valor nữa, Valor và một con Chap nữa. Tôi nghĩ là pha này mình đã có thể đánh lợi thế hơn, đúng không? À khoan, mình mất. Không, thực ra là đúng thế, nhưng mà bên này lại chơi với like kia trước, kiểu vậy á. Và thôi, vẫn kết quả vẫn như thế thôi, chúng ta không cần dùng đấy được. Mẹ, ông này bị sách với xịt để cũng như xịt à? Kiểu nếu mình làm từ đầu á thì mình sẽ rất là lãi, nhưng mà chắc là có nghĩ là đối thủ đang muốn play ra cái gì đó thôi. Là bài này, sau đó chắc là code vision. Lấy chap lên tay với cả lấy ấy thôi. Lấy Valor về lấy chap. Đừng bảo lấy gọi thêm dùng cho mắt xanh nhá. Đó lại rồi, Bandit với cái blue eye, ok. Đi sang bên kia thôi. Để tôi quay lại sang bên kia.
A dragon deck like the Tomb Keeper Blue Eye, something tells me Chaos Structure Star Source Dragon is gonna be pretty good.
Certainly is. So we're using Treasure of the Kings. Gonna go ahead and
yeah, you can
grab a card here. Yeah, it seems like it's fine.
Okay, so you can't set. Yeah.
No legal targets.
Yes, he is.
Everybody just clarify.
Đây vẫn là sao ấy? Đây vẫn là round 10 mà.
Card we can get for here.
Well, no, the activation isn't illegal.
Well, it's because you pick up the deck and search.
Yeah, so Treasure has multiple effects based on what you have set on play versus what you don't. I guess we're just clarifying.
Đây là backhack của round 10 đấy.
Yeah. We're pausing for a judge call. Go fast.
Gonna place the deck down for just a second.
Activated the field spell. Activation of the field spell itself.
It's like there's a pause on the clock here, so
Let's
let's wait for the judge interaction to conclude.
On activation it sets, but I didn't realize that I couldn't set.
Thằng ông này thì tận Tom Keeper Blue Eye.
What the
fuck?
Yeah, so activated the optional deck with no legal.
Tom Rico là
Hopefully this
audio
doesn't take
đấy.
too long. I do want to see some blue eyes. And if you're trying to figure out what the connection is between two Keeper and blue eyes, obviously the man with the great card, he's a dark spellcaster. And it is level 4 or lower, so you can go ahead and link that off for things like Spirit with Eyes of Blue. And it kind of has that Doom style of gameplay where each card demands 2 interactions, right? But we are going to go ahead and set a card.
So I guess we're activating a different effect than the one that Temple of the Kings has on its normal effect. We need to have a card set in play before we can start.
That is right.
It's my understanding. So we got a little ahead of ourselves. As
Tôi cảm giác một sự khó chịu ở anh bạn này.
So perhaps a procedural reminder there, but it's just a warning, so we'll get to continue. We're going to go ahead and
warning, ăn một warning gì đó, ví dụ gì đó không biết.
Yeah. I will set one.
So we're not
Set
setting
hai
any
là bài.
purpose traps with the Treasure of the Kings. Wonder what
Set
happened
ba
there,
là
but
bài.
looks like we'll go ahead and set 3.
Nháy.
I mean, the reality is
Khi
he
đang
probably just didn't
có
have
khá
any in
nhiều
his
ái úp
deck.
thì
Yeah,
tôi sẽ
'cause I
áp
think
một
he
quái
drew
vật
all
bên
of them
sân.
potentially. 'Cause we are
I
obviously-
see.
because we are post side right now for game 3, and famously some of the opposed traps do get taken out when you're going second, which D'Angelo is. So he
Tôi
probably had
hiểu
drawn a
tôi hiểu
bunch
ý
of them
tưởng mà.
without realizing.
Đền.
Well, thankfully our judges are here to
Oh
help.
my
We did
God,
draw
chị Tay.
Anubis, the last judge. That was going to be a Droll and Lockbird, but we hit the Called by the Grave immediately on that, trying to
Mà sao
stop
chị
it.
Tay
Looks like
cầm
it's
nhiều
good.
đấy
So
nhở?
we're going to go and banish that. Still
Hai
can
trận
add
mỗi
that
thằng cầm
card.
một cái gì tay đấy.
That's important because we're going to use the
Kinh
effect of
phết.
Anubis, the last judge, and reach
Kiểu
deep in the
mà
deck
lúc
for
quan trọng
more
ấy là sao chỉ tay.
treasures.
Yeah, this is going to be specifically looking for man with the mark, if I had to guess. Yep, exactly. So we just had a clarification here from our judge team that
Thế
it
mà
was
sẹo
a
lên.
minor illegal activation of effective Treasure of the Kings to recruit nothing in deck to get. So there
Normal
was no
summon mà
focus
sẹo.
trap to set. Obviously, that implies to Hunter that they're already set on the field.
All right, well, say it with me now.
Lấy một lá bài men
With the Marcus
lấy
now
lại
here,
thêm
we're
một
going to use
temple
that to go ahead and
temple
another
tiếp.
copy of Treasure with the
Okay.
King, or Treasure of the Kings from the deck to hand.
Yep, and like we said, man with the mark is just also a blue eyes combo because he is a level 4 spellcaster that can get into spirit.
Level
And,
4 Predator hiểu rồi, hiểu rồi,
Hunter
hiểu rồi.
actually wants
Chúng ta
a,
lính 1 lên sang lên ấy.
how do I say, a dragon monster hit the boards, that way we can utilize our super
Nhưng mà tôi
poly
nghĩ
that's set
rằng
right here.
lên bây giờ lên linh 1 còn tệ hơn
Wouldn't be
là
bad, and I guess you
giữ
just
lại con này
have to
bởi
be
con này còn đang
careful
bảo kê. Mới đang có 2 quái bảo
Are
kê
you going to
nhau.
go ahead and activate? No, it looks like we're going to go ahead and do a Apophis down instead.
Đúng
Yep, so
rồi,
Opus
phải
is
làm
surfing
thế
here,
trên
so we're
2
going to get some
trên
more
2
continuous trap cards,
bay đi.
as well as, well, we're going to use the Ecclesia of the Dark Dragon here to go ahead and pop itself and get access to another card from our deck.
Certainly a difficult matchup. Recently playing Dragons myself, you know, Albalonatus is out there, especially with these
Trong
branded
bộ Abat
decks
với
at
cả
the ready.
Galaxia
So
rồi.
putting out
Vậy
powerful
thì
Dragons is
cũng
not what it used to be when they could be fused off, but we'll see what Ecclesia grabs. Looks like it's going to special summon Fall into the White Dragon.
I mean, that's a pretty good card to get here, I'll tell you what.
Suy nghĩ về ồ đặt mẹ anh bạn này đánh
Pops
đánh
in
hơi
defense mode
chậm
there,
nhá.
far side of the field. Use the effect of Fall into the White Dragon to try to
Gọi
get Ecclesia monster
mention
out
liên
of
quan.
the deck this time.
Chắc chắn là
Typically,
gọi
Incredible Ecclesia the
tôi nghĩ
Virtuous,
phải
but
chỉ
it
có
also
cái
could
đó
be
là
Dogmatic Ecclesia. No, it's going to be
dĩ
Incredible
nhiên rồi.
Ecclesia the
Anh
Virtuous.
Galaxia
Man, it just seems like max rarity as far as the eye can see.
Yeah, but the big bummer here for Hunter is that he drew his copy of Fallen About Bastard. Does Ecclesia also from the graveyard? I think it actually does. So there is a world where we have 2 access to super poly-like effects this turn if we want them.
Hand or deck. Yes.
As long as we have the cards in hand to do so, of course.
Well, if Albals makes contact, he might fuse. So let's see if we end up losing not 1 but 2 sets
Vào
of
chiến
monsters.
đấu
for
vào
fusion
chiến đấu
summon.
đấm Abat
It looks like we're
không
actually just going to go battle phase here.
I like the idea of D'Angelo here, just to kind of get some of the material off the board for Hunter.
khóa. Từ từ.
Considering that
Có chuyện
zero
sai tại sao con
defense,
Odeon kia không
even the
không
man
không
with the
út được
mark
bạn
is kind
bè.
of tiny. Looks like that's going to be good.
Tại sao tôi không hiểu tại sao nó không hay là tôi thấy là đúng
into
nhỉ?
our blue eye stuff at all this turn, or if we're comfortable
Tại sao
just
con
going with
rắn
our
kia không
focus
xét
cards.
út thêm thằng bạn nữa, một thằng bạn nữa
Certainly have to
rồi.
be mindful of super polymerization. This is game 3, so we don't know if Hunter maybe had previously revealed that gorgeous copy that is currently set on his field.
Right, it's implied that Hunter lost game 2 because he chose to go first in this game
End
3.
pay, đã end pay rồi. Trả lại các thay
Can
ra
imagine
về.
a trap deck passing the opportunity to set traps first.
Nhưng mà bố
Right.
mình
We
ok
get
các
to
đánh
pass
rồi
over to
ok.
Hunter here as we get our Ecclesia the Dark Dragon back to the field. We're going to go ahead and use the effect of Ecclesia
gọi
of
từ bộ
Incredible
bài một
Ecclesia to get
Abat.
access to another Fallen Abbas. This will probably get our last copy of Branded of the White Dragon in our deck.
Abat đen dưới mộ vẫn xử lý được mà.
So Fall White Dragon about to splash out on the field. I think
Còn
you're
Abat
right.
trắng hả?
I'm
Thoải
on the
mái.
same page, but it's up to Hunter what he puts on the field. And
Yeah,
yeah,
Abat
we just
trắng.
right. Wow, is that another copy? Goodness. So, going to go ahead and
Thằng này thì ai
flip
biết.
things over here, maybe trying to negate before anything kicks off. Take a look at the graveyard. Do we have a response? There's anything we can do?
Đi kia đi.
I mean, a Popus the Swamp Deity is going to be pretty important here to A, check the Fallen and the White Dragon, and B,
Nháy
just add to our
Ecclesia
ability to
trắng.
defend
tẩu
ourselves
thoát,
as D'Angelo, so we
hồi
can
sinh
let
lại
the engine of
Caption.
a Popus speak for itself turn after turn here.
So, banishing Ecclesia in the
Hả?
Dark Dragon.
Gọi khác à?
Now searching
Gọi
the
quay mà.
deck to add.
Thế này gọi quay thôi, chỉ có quay. Hay Caption từ đấy. Ông
Looks like it's going to be
vứt
Blazing
gọn hay
Caption
Caption từ đấy
the
chứ.
Virtuous.
Thôi được rồi.
Seems
nhau
to be
cả.
the choice, and pretty much a good choice if I ever heard of one.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Ecclesia the Dark Dragon be like a useful tool in these decks that are playing Fallen and the Virtuous, but it just has so much extension for the branded deck as a whole. Getting you access to some of your most powerful monsters whenever you need them is something this deck wants to always be doing. Ooh, also eyeing up the golden sword scroll there. We saw some really fun tech
Golden
inclusions like that
sword,
throughout the weekend for the
golden
branded
sword.
decks.
What?
And we're interested to get Spriggan's kit. Hey, ring, ring, ring. What time is it? Branded fusion o'clock.
Oh
folks.
my goodness.
Oh, and
There she is, the side quest extraordinaire.
Sức mạnh của Brandon Fusion được Brandon Fusion đi tên
Kit meets
3.
a lot of friends in the Fallen of Albaz storyline.
She sure does.
Bên kia hết đi drop rồi. Đấy phải sao?
And of course, the nonsense she would get up to involves branded fusion. Ooh,
Không,
maybe
tại là
not.
Brandon
you know what?
white.
That's actually a very good point. Almost all of his
Brandon
Fallen of
Fusion quá
Albaz
yếu
are
để
already
dùng.
on the field or in the graveyard. So Brandon in white might be a bit more important.
I think this may be,
Ui,
as far as the
các bạn
future
nghĩ sao
matches
chúng ta
go,
không
the
nên
deepest we've seen a
thấy
branded
không?
deck go in terms
Chúng ta
of how
không
many
phải công suất
Albaz are
Brandon
in
Fusion
the
đâu, bởi vì
graveyard,
chúng
considering that
ta
it's
vẫn thấy
all
Albaz
three,
rồi.
right? Because Fall of the White Dragon is always treated as Fallen of Albaz, so they're out there.
Yeah, we definitely want to consider time here as a factor for both players. We do have 5 minutes here, but Hunter can definitely get the damage they need on this turn, especially with the amount of fusion summoning they can go for. Now that they've gone for Albion, the branded dragon.
It's gonna. Yeah. So I'm gonna banish this and banish Menshevik this.
Alright, so it looks like it's going to be banished Fallen Cartesia, and it's going to Blaze at Cartesia, and we're going to send Fallen of the White Dragon to the graveyard. And now that Fallen of the White Dragon in the graveyard is there, time for a little bit of Albion the Branded Dragon fusing, so combining Albion the Branded Dragon and Fallen of the White Dragon for a fusion summon here in order to make Mirror Jaded. Oh my goodness, there it is, just on the top tournament tables, Starlight Extended Art, Mirror Jade.
And now we're going to go to battle phase here, but one important thing is the Man with the Mark does protect your cards from being destroyed by battle. And so once again, I'm not sure if Hunter's going to be able to actually claim the damage here, but we will go ahead and remove it, banish it to the field, and get another destruction here thanks to the Mirror Jade answering that.
Hiểu rồi.
But it's
Con
not
Kit
wrapping
không thể
things
đấm
up
từ trước con
completely.
kia
Looks
nên
like
đấm
we're
con này
just going
thẻ
to the
đa
end
xong con
phase,
kia
and now we're
banit
going
đi
to set
cho
additional
xong.
card here. What a beautiful collection of cards. Is that
Đúng
also
là hợp lý đấy.
Starlight, Fallen and Virtuous? My goodness, Hunter. You know, we've got a Blue Eyes player on the field, but I
Bữa
clearly
ta
know which
frame
one
á.
is the Seto Kaiba.
Nhìn thấy thôi, tôi biết là cũng có ở đây nhiều
And we're
có
going to
người
get
có.
so much effects here in the end phase here. Getting the Dark Dragon back, getting the set of the Fallen and the Virtuous. And now we're just representing so much advantage that can grind D'Angelo down to a halt. I believe the only known card in hand is another copy of Treasure of the Kings, which as we saw doesn't really have that many search targets, besides more copies of Anubis the Judge.
Có úp tế TV một Mirror Z thì không dùng được tạm thời. Nhưng mà chắc chắn là sẽ có cách để dùng được thôi. Hoặc là không cần nhất thiết đến thế.
He's doing a great job doing it quickly. Everybody's working as fast as they can, given there's only 3 minutes and 37 seconds left on the clock, and counting. It looks like it's good. D'Angelo about to draw for turn. And
Không cần
let's see what we got.
đâu vậy.
It's like we drew a spell card. Almost looks like another copy of Treasure of the Kings, and I think that might be the Blue Eyes White Dragon in the hands.
Quá yếu rồi.
Oh, was it the one and only? We're going to use the effective treasure here to go ahead and add.
Dùng check chùa.
This can get us another copy of Anubis, which can get us another copy of the Man if we need it.
Kind of working his way from the back line. Obviously, a quick little deck profile, just in case you at home want to pilot Blue Eyes with the Tombkeeper cards.
Hỏi BL à? Mấy người có điều kiện mà.
But yep, there's that Anubis the Last Judge.
Ooh, we're going to get the
Oh.
Yeah. This could be a pretty good unlock here for getting some extra interaction.
See what the Merciless Scorpion of Circuit has to say about this as we go ahead and send off a level 10 or higher monster. Just saw the deck pretty thoroughly, so let's see what level 10 or higher monster we pitch. It typically is the Bureau anyways.
Ooh, we also have the Last Judge, of course, but we probably don't want to get rid of our last one this way.
Câu tha mình cho ai hết cùng thôi.
Now, where do we go from here if you're D'Angelo? We're going to go ahead and activate another copy of Treasure of the Kings just to get a new one. We
Tiếp
don't
về
have
bắn
any
luôn.
effects, but we don't have to. We're just not going to. We're activating a new one. We're not activating its effect.
That is okay.
Saw that we almost briefly flipped over the Fall and the Virtuous, but it looks like we are not doing that after all on Hunter's side, so we continue. And now we're going to search out another card
Tôi
here.
phải thắc mắc xem là bên này có con
you
cháp không để
basically
úp này.
reset the Treasure of the Kings, you can activate
Hay
the
là-
effective search for cards that mention Temple of the Kings. More than one time in a
What the
turn,
fuck?
and that will get us access to Anubis the Last Judge, which is both copies
Vậy
of
là
the
tao
cards
hiểu vì
now.
sao nó không úp,
This can
không
again get
gọi
us back
thêm
into
bạn
man
nữa,
if we
nó chỉ
need
có
it,
một
but I'm not
con
sure how
thôi.
much farther we can go from there if we were to do so.
So pitching Anubis the Last Judge, but it's going to get hit by Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, so no, you
Hóa
won't
ra
be
là không úp
searching
lên bạn
any
vì nó
new
không còn
cards from
hơn
the deck.
bạn nó
Pretty
nữa.
good patience there from Hunter.
Had to hold on to it, but only a minute and 25 seconds left.
Yeah. Trying.
It's
going to be down the wire, folks, for both players here. Whether D'Angelo can break the board and make it impossible for Hunter to win, or if Hunter can get that last battle phase they may need to win it.
Even if they have 30 more minutes on the clock, that Mirror Jade is threatening to destroy anything that was left at the end of the turn. So this really had to be about this battle phase, either or.
Bắt tàu phay à? Lấy sticker đấm không? Hay là con này chỉ cho bên phay thôi? À không, cái này chỉ bắt phay nữa.
Apparently enter the battle phase, it
nhớ
seems.
tôi sửa chỉ bên phay rồi.
As we get ready to attack, but we're going to activate the Fallen Virtuous. Use that to destroy the Merciless Scorpion of Circuit by getting rid of a Renbro.
And that'll get access to Fallen of Albaz again as well.
So sending that from the extra deck to the graveyard for later setup. Sets the card defense mode.
Okay.
Looks like we're passing.
Hunter's going to activate his end phase effects to get back to the White Dragon, and now it's just a matter of counting. Can Hunter make it to his battle phase and declare the attacks he needs with the time he has left?
Very few seconds left.
Search for it.
It could be done, but there's Dominic and Ecclesia grabbing another copy of the Fallen the Virtuous, which could be used to destroy.
Con này đúng không? Con này là bạn. Con này đóng vào TKK.
So pass the deck, draw a card.
Main phase, xoay công, bắt tàu phay.
We're directly into
Send
battle
to the
phase.
graveyard, banish.
You said stand by.
Banish face.
And
Đúng rồi, ta bảo con đấy, ta bảo con đấy. Đúng rồi, tiêu diệt, đấm.
And I don't know if the clock is perfectly synced up because the judge has a game clock on the table, so maybe there's a few more seconds than we know of. And so trying to attack and use super polymerization, so let's see what happens.
You're going to give us a couple more.
We've done the full plunge here.
Bạn
And there
he is, D'Angelo understanding there's a few more seconds left on the clock. Hunter getting a round of applause. He is seemingly your winner. This is not going to be a double loss.
I mean, he represented over 10,000 damage that turn. Definitely going to be more than enough to get through the
bên này vẫn thua, bên này tự thua, bên này vẫn tự thua mà.
And it is officially, you see that two on the
Nhưng mà ông này,
board, that
tôi không
means
hiểu
we
tại sao ông này tự
declared
tin
a
đến mức là ông nghĩ
winner.
rằng ông có sống được
Down
cái
the
này.
wire there, folks. I'll tell you what.
I had this.
Thực ra là ông ấy
Down
không
to
nhận
the
không phải đâu,
wire
ông ấy
indeed, but oh my
cố
goodness,
gắng
the
là
gameplay and
hơi được
yeah.
cuối cùng thôi, nhưng mà ông ấy nhận ra
Super
rằng ấy là
polymerization,
chết
Starlight
mẹ rồi,
Extended
nhưng mà
Art.
tôi
The
không hiểu tại sao
Mirror
ông ấy không
Jade,
nghĩ,
oh my
không
goodness, the most
thể
sought after card in Rarity Collection
nó gọi là
5.
gì nhỉ?
Actually
Nghĩ
making
rằng
a
mình có thể
really
sống
big
sót vậy.
difference on this duel.
Oh, I mean, Mirror Jade, whenever it hits the board, is always one of the most powerful cards I've ever read in my life. You know, it just demands so many answers, and when you do answer it, it gets rid of all your stuff.
Knock knock, who is it? The end phase.
Yeah, it was a little rough there for D'Angelo, opening a lot of his, you know, powerful one-ups of the Toonkeeper engine. He opened Temple of the Kings, a one-up copy of the Focus Serpent, and a one-up copy of the Swamp Deity post side. Very unfortunate to see. We didn't get to see any actual Blue Eyes cards get played in that Blue Eyes Toonkeeper deck.
Yeah, the side deck, certainly we talk about like the silver bullet effect, the idea to kill those werewolves, you're going to need these perfect cards. But sometimes the deck that got you that far in the tournament may be good as is, because no matter how hard you shuffle the deck, a random deck is random. And getting all those cards clumped together is one of those random combinations you can have. So it's almost like you have to figure out how much you want a side deck, right? You go fully in and commit to 6 cards, 3 cards, 2 cards, etc. But then if you do that, maybe you don't see the cards. So I think that may be the next conversation for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. Do I side, or do I just let it?
Nói chung thì tôi nghèo rách, tôi đéo có cái gì ấy cả, tôi chỉ có cả tích của tôi là OCG rách thôi, là kiểu mấy con như là mấy con AZ ạc tràn viền tràn viền Z là tràn viền Prit thôi, thì có đấy thôi. Đâu nhỉ? Để tôi có đăng đây nó đéo thôi nhỉ. Tôi có con Starving Venom tràn viền này, có con này tràn viền này. Đấy tôi có Z ạc. Tôi rách mà, tôi có Z ạc, hai con Z ạc Prit tràn viền thôi. Rách nghèo rách. Tôi có Astrodat tràn tôi có cả Astrodat tràn viền nữa. Bựa phết. Bao giờ cái mới.
Legitimizes the brewing nature of Yu-Gi-Oh! That I personally love so much. I love falling in love with a card, falling in love with an archetype, and going, how far can I take this? And can I apply everything I know about competitive play, about winning games of Yu-Gi-Oh! And make it to where this deck does it as consistently and cleanly as possible?
Really love this format because, honestly, since Blazing Dominion came out, there's just been so many ways to play the game. And speaking of Blazing Dominion, you want to play this game, there's some great prizes you can win. Take a look at this, right? The Blazing Dominion regional qualifiers have that amazing Clown Crew Bianco Vito game map. And if you haven't seen the inside of that top 4 card case, well, speaking of Blue Eyes White Dragon, it is this amazing boss. Have you ever actually seen one of those in person? Yes. Oh, it's so good. And the only way you're going to get that is by showing up to regional championships between now and June 22nd, 2026. So good luck, duelists. See, it's a good prize, but you got to be a good duelist to win it because there are plenty of good duelists out there.
And of course, the archetype, all thinking about how beautiful Clown makeup is, has some beautiful art history and Rembrandt-like card zones for everyone to play in. Just an actual gorgeous map that hopefully people at home can get their hands on at their next regional qualifiers.
Yeah, there's a lot of people actually on Clown Crew too, so maybe if you win that, you might want to trade it off to your friend, because I feel like it's one of those undiscovered decks, right? There's no one single list, but there's still a lot of cool stuff. So Bianco Viso, it's good to see your face. I think we'll be seeing it again.
Oh yeah, 100%. Always a pleasure seeing newer strategies get the respect they deserve when highlighted in major tournaments like regional qualifiers and then some.
My goodness, my goodness. Well, I got to say, you know, we mentioned how little you actually get to play this game in the tournament. Did you get any matches in this weekend?
Oh, I've been known to get a couple of matches here and there.
Maybe
it would.
Well, we'll be right back on a break.
We'll be right back.
Until then, maybe you get to see some gameplay in the meantime.
The wait is over. It's time for my divine
sao nó bắt còn cắm rốt tao một con vậy?
Behold.
Bọn TCG khốn nạn.
Yugioh trading card game. Burst protocol available now.
Bọn TCG khốn nạn, sao mày vẫn còn quảng cáo bớt một con vậy? Mày nghĩ bọn này nghĩ Tiger vậy rồi.
Steven that I brought on stage, not the same Steven as last time. The new Steven to play some more Genesis feature match. How you feeling?
Ai, Genesis Preacher Max à? Thì ra bọn nó tạo ra, tôi hiểu vì sao bọn nó tạo ra cái format rồi, đó là để câu giờ. Được rồi, mày thích Genesis format gì?
Steven Darling on Hecka hands taking my cards. Now it's you in person taking my cards. Either way, this is going to be a match that has been featured in past YCSs, but updated with the new list points. I'm still on the Magnet Warriors, so if you saw the last episode of this, you kind of know what I'm about, but basically, Magnet Warriors doing Magnet Warrior things. What are you on, Steven?
I am on Regenesis for the Genesis format, and just like you said, there's been some points updates. We have unlocked Regenesis normally to be now 10 points, which is super awesome, but some of the more powerful cards you can search off it, like Archfiend and other accoutrements, are now pointed. So the deck is nowhere near as wide with how many Regenesis cards you can play, but you have the more powerful ones access to.
Basically, they removed it as like a splashable engine. And they said, if you're going to play Regenesis, you're playing Regenesis. So we're playing Regenesis, and also the Eldritch stuff is really fun. It naturally pairs. You got some of the Dogmatica stuff that naturally pairs, so it's going to be a fun matchup. Are you ready to go?
I sure am. Go ahead and cut the deck.
All right.
Okay, đây là chúng ta từ Genesis format.
I won the last round against Darling.
Yes, I'm trying to get revenge for Darling.
All right, so good luck.
Với bộ bài Adam Antimeter, Magnet Warrior và Genesis Elix.
Love to see it.
That's a professional duelist right there.
Ooh. All right, stand by main. Anything?
Yes. Nothing. You're playing the game.
I have one of my favorite combinations of all time. I activate Delta of Invitation.
Yep.
On activation, I can send one level 5 or higher zombie monster from the deck to the grave.
Great.
Là bài sắc sống.
To set up another play.
I wonder what I'll get. I think I'm gonna go for the man, the myth, the legend, the Eldritch, the Golden
Genesis
Lord.
format rồi, Genesis format, bạn nhìn cái playmat không?
He has hit the field.
And then
graveyard.
Yes. Well, he's about to hit the field. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use his effect in the graveyard to go ahead and send my Delta of Invitation to the grave for cost. To then add into my hand, and because he'll then be special summoned, Delta of Invitation is already in the graveyard by the time this effect fully resolves. So I can now add it back to my hand using its graveyard effect.
Yep, a zombie returned from the graveyard back to the hand while it was in the graveyard, sent for cost. So
that's a plus one.
Nice little loop. Fun way to get Eldritch onto the field.
Chúng ta úp 3 lá bài. Kết thúc lượt ở đâu ở đây?
We'll get the plus 1000 attack and not be destroyable by card effects.
I think because you're playing Magnet Warriors, it doesn't really matter too much.
Probably not,
but I think attack mode is a little bit better here. So yeah, let's go for that.
Okay.
And then very simple Eldritch turn. I'm going to go ahead and set 3.
Thôi tôi nghĩ là để thế tấn công cho Quách.
Okay. It's like you drew into the Eldritch side as opposed to the Regenesis side of the deck. Okay.
Rico mà khá là rất là tốt để đấu với Elix đấy.
On your turn.
You
might find
khó chơi rồi đó. Nó format này dễ hơn nhé.
And I have a very fun hand.
Kiểu các bạn được ít nhất là các bạn lên được chơi.
I'm gonna go Magnet Bonding. During the main phase, I can activate one of these effects. I can add a Conduction Warrior Linear Magnum plus minus to my hand from my deck.
Okay, that's fine.
Cái này là 2 lực viên sao 2 lực viên là 2 khác.
The legend himself. Anything on resolution?
No.
All right. I will now, as the condition to summon him, send
Summon bằng cách send 2 lá bài.
2 Magnet Warriors
Ớt bằng
from my
con
deck to
chua
the
rồi.
graveyard to special summon him from
Mẹ,
hand.
giao
I'll
án
go
của tôi,
Magnet
giao án
Warrior
ớt bằng con
Sigma
chua đâu.
Plus, and I'll go Beta the Electromagnetic Warrior. Now, new chain, because Magnet Warrior Sigma Plus was sent to the graveyard. I can
ghép vào
special
Delta
summon a
nhảy
Magnet
lên.
Warrior with a different name from my graveyard. I will choose my Beta the Electromagnetic Warrior.
And then remind me, my
Beta.
friend here can afterwards you can like send him to the graveyard to summon 2 more, right?
No, that's the other one.
Okay,
Yeah,
great,
this
great,
one just if he's destroyed, he goes back to my hand.
Beautiful,
So
beautiful.
he just kind of bounces himself back.
You are good to continue.
Bring back the Beta, and then on summon,
Beta nhảy effect.
I will activate his
Sub
effect
vào
to
lá
search
bài.
my deck for a level 4 lower Magnet Warrior.
Mhm.
That okay?
I'm scared, but you can do it.
Nice.
Tôi sợ nhưng mà
Now,
tôi
funnily
nhưng mà
enough, I
bạn làm
have
đi.
both of the search targets in my hand, so I don't really.
You built a very
need
consistent deck.
much. Yeah, very funny. So I guess we'll go for the
Mày lại lấy
Magnet
con đấy.
Warrior Omega Plus. Normally this would come up later in the combo, but I'm just getting it into rotation now,
Right.
just to see how things are going to go. Because I have not normal summoned yet, by the way. This
Right.
was a special summon. I will now reveal the Sigma Minus. Normally that's what I would search
Sigma
for the
Minus,
Beta
đúng
here,
không ạ?
but I just had it in hand, so I'll reveal it in hand to Fusion Summon.
Reveal it in hand to fusion summon.
Using this and other rocks in my hand or field.
That is going to be fine.
Okay, I will fusion
Dĩ
with
nhiên là
Conduction
file rồi.
Warrior, Linear Magnum Plus Minus. Although actually now I'm realizing you are a trap-based deck.
Sure
Normally
am.
Beta I keep in rotation
Đúng thật.
specifically
Để
for
hai ông này
Naturia
ngồi giáp
Beast.
binh
I don't
tính
think
bài
I'm
nó
going
cũng
to go
không
to
tệ
the
lắm, không tốt
Naturia
lắm.
Beast against you. So I'm actually going to fuse with that one.
Được thời
Again,
rồi.
we're switching up the
Thực ra con này
lines
không
here a
cần nhất
little
thiết
bit
phải
just
phải có như
because
thế.
I'm going second and I know what
Tôi nghĩ
you're
là
on.
vậy.
So Conduction Warrior Plasma Magnum will hit the field. When this card is fusion summoned, I can add a magnet, normal, quick play, or field spell from my deck to my hand. I will activate that effect.
I'll think in response.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go. He does not have an effect in the graveyard, right?
No graveyard effect.
And this one
His
does.
other effect on the field allows me to, for cost on a level 8 Magnet Warrior from my deck to the graveyard, to additional normal summon a Magnet Warrior.
Okay.
This does not have a graveyard effect.
Great, great. I think in response, I'm going to activate Elixir of the Glorious Golden Land. So I pay 800 life
Lắp
points
ping
to
nhiều
activate this.
em lên
And
lắp
then
ping
I
nhiều
will
á.
attempt
Bởi
to
vì
resolve
sao?
the effect to summon
Chưa
and then
có
non-target
ra
bounce.
mới. Lý do chưa có ra mới
Yes,
đây.
that is fine.
Beautiful. So I'll go ahead and summon it, and then I will non-target bounce this card.
This one, I'm assuming,
Yes.
makes sense. Well, I guess first, oh yeah, that's all on
It's all one
isn't it?
effect. It's
Yeah.
all one effect, yeah.
So that will be Chainlink 2. It'll summon, bounce, and then Chainlink 1 will resolve. I'll search for the spell.
Love it.
Okay, and what do I have in my hand? Okay. We're going to go for Magnetic Field, the field spell.
Sao lại magnetic field á?
This one,
Who
if I
plays that
control
card?
a level 4 lower Earth Rock monster, I can target a level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior from my graveyard and special summon it. And then
Who plays that card?
anytime a Earth Rock
Well, hold on,
battles
bạn
and your monster's not
Who
destroyed, I
plays
can
that
bounce it back to
card?
your hand.
Love it.
So it's kind of like a fun
Tôi
combat
không
trick
nghĩ
too.
rằng con lá bài này họ
and
có
that
đủ
is in
đủ
defense
khỏe
mode
để
or
chơi
It
á.
is in defense mode. It has 2,800 defense currently.
Okay, cool. Well, interesting. Very
Nhiều nick
interesting.
anh tôi đó. Đây nhưng mà đây
We
là
are now
đây là
going to
Genesis format.
activate the magnetic field.
Lấy
I'm
magnetic
already
field.
kind of regretting a decision I made earlier.
Okay. We love regrets on this side of the table.
Interesting. I was kind of hoping that fusion would stick around.
Thấy không? Đây,
We're gonna normal summon my Epsilon the Magnet Warrior. Normally this would
Epsilon
come up in a
solar
different
code
line of
nha.
the combo, but again, I just drew it for turn, so we just have it. On normal summon, I can send a level 4 lower Magnet Warrior monster from my deck to the graveyard. Its name becomes that name. Then I special summon
Còn
a
Genesis là
different
giáp phẩm á.
Magnet Warrior or Magnet Warrior monster from my
Genesis là Genesis
graveyard
vẫn
that
phấy
does
bật
not
mà.
share a name with monsters on the field.
That does not share a name with monsters on the field.
Yeah, so he's going to copy the name of whoever I
Nó-
send. So basically,
Nó
whoever
được
I send, I
một
can't
nó
get
được một
back
thời
right away.
kỳ kinh
Get
tí
back
mà giờ
a
như
good
cứ
chunk of dudes here.
There's a couple options.
I think
Deck yếu của vậy.
doing it here feels pretty good.
Ugh, I don't like hearing that.
But I think you're good. Go for it.
So that will resolve, and I will send from deck to graveyard.
This is the thing about a trap deck is I'm like, well, I think there's a better time to go for it. So I'll
yeah.
choose patience this time
Patience is always my weakness playing that deck. I'm going to send a Sigma Plus
to get back the minus.
the minus. There we
Right.
go. That's how I need to do it, because then on summon his effect will trigger. So yep, that resolves.
Hồi tinh.
On summon, I will activate his effect, summoning or sending a level 8
chôn
Magna
con này
Warrior
đi.
from my deck to the graveyard.
Sending a level 8. I think that's also fine. Yeah, go
Okay,
for it.
cool. So we will send
Cái con đấy là
Delusion, the Magna Warrior. This is the one you're thinking of. He's the one that can banish Sigma minus and Sigma plus to special summon himself. During the main phase, I can target a monster on your field and destroy it, or if it's an Earth monster, I can take control of it. But you have dealt with the Earth monster part of that.
Right.
bây giờ phải ghi một đánh 8 mạnh thôi.
Yes, because the fusion would turn them into Earth.
Đây no hope bên này.
I will now use Magnetic Field because I control a level 4 lower Earth rock. I can special summon a level 4 lower Magnet Warrior from my graveyard. Is that okay?
That's good.
All right, I'll bring back Magnet Warrior Sigma Plus. And then I will overlay these two to make Tornado Dragon. That's right, we have a little rank 4 engine in this deck that can help me with your pesky traps. On summon, okay?
Yeah.
All right, I will activate his effect, detaching the Sigma Plus to target a spell trap card on the field and destroy it. I'll target this one right
This
now.
one?
Yes.
Alrighty, you'll go ahead and send Elixir of the Scarlet Sanguine to the grave.
Ooh, and you're choosing to not activate it. Okay.
No.
Interesting. So that means you
không
can
active
get
để tí nữa em play thì
graveyard
sẽ lặng
effect
khá.
this turn.
Sure can.
Okay.
Mà sao mình phải tiến hệ
We are going
theo bọn này vậy?
to for my next trick. So he cannot be destroyed by cards this
No,
turn.
and he's big.
He's big.
But you can't bounce him.
I will discard Kartorin, the hidden gem of the seafront. And then I can normal summon a earth or water monster during my main phase this turn in addition to my normal summoner set.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
So I get an additional normal summon of that Magna Warrior Omega Plus. So I did get him back in a rotation. Eventually.
The hard way. The hard way.
I will now overlay these two to make...
lấy lá bài đó thôi.
Interesting. I got a couple options here.
And this friend lets you only summon himself back, right? You can't just summon anything?
Yeah, that's just himself back by destroying a rock on the field or in my hand.
Gorge.
Okay,
so I will go into Gallant Granite.
Thinking on Summon of Gallant.
Okay.
I'm going to activate Dogmatica Punishment.
Ooh.
Targeting Gallant Granite.
Sure.
And I'm going to send Enigmaster Master Packbit to the graveyard.
Yeah, that also makes sense.
Thoughts here?
Thinking... You have 2 in hand.
I do.
Có thể đi qua con kia ngay để không nó không nhảy effect.
Pretty good hand for it. It's gonna deal with Gallant Granite. And now this one says if it
cái đi qua con bách mít đi
monster in your graveyard or
không
face
cho
up
nó
monster
nhảy
your
effect.
opponent controls.
Vì con này bạn tham minh có thể dùng được. Chặn được nó.
If I, because I was sent for cost for this, right?
That is exactly correct.
So.
Đúng rồi.
Well, technically, targeting this is cost. Targeting this is cost.
Target
so the card is not resolved.
No response.
Okay,
yep, that's fine.
Great.
Okay, cool.
And then that'll get destroyed. And then on a new chain, Enigmaster Packbit, I'm going to send another copy of Eldritch the Golden Lord, which is maybe why I was fine with Sanguine being destroyed.
Fair enough.
I will then move this.
Understandable. Okay, all right.
I'm now locked out of the extra deck.
So I know you don't have a lot going for you now.
I am handless.
Do not have a lot.
Sorry, I have one card, but you do know what it is.
True. Next up, I will... I kind of wish I'd done this first. Yeah, I actually could have had a much better play if I'd done this first. Well, we'll see how far I can go still. We're going to use the graveyard effect of Delusion, banishing the Sigma Plus and Sigma Minus to special summon it to the field. This is 2,800 defense, right?
It sure is.
It's so big. I'm going to discard Duo Terion to search for a bonding spell. Now, if I'd done this before going into the Gallant Granite, I could chain it to fuse away the 2 guys before your punishment went off.
Right.
Which would have been really nice. But, you know, it's okay. I think we can still have some fun. Delusion will target the Elder Elixir to destroy it.
That's going to be fine.
And then I think that might be all I can rock and roll with now. I can bring back the Omega Plus. I can bring back the Kartorhin. I guess I can go into the fusion.
Không nên tham, giữ con này fusion lại.
That is annoying. Turns out that's annoying.
Giáp bí thôi, giữ
you got me in an awkward spot here, Steven.
I gotta do what I can. I gotta grind you out somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I think you played it very well.
If it's not with Regenesis, it's gonna be with Eldritch. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, all I can really do is get a couple of bodies on the board, which doesn't really help me.
Bây giờ nhá, phải đi vào luôn ngay lập tức, nếu không là end phase là con kia
I will use
Từ
the
con giáp kia là
effect.
quick effect mà.
Well, this card
Quên
is
mất thì không
in
thể
if you
được.
control an earth and water monster.
Đi
Oh, I
qua
do
thì
not
cắn
control an earth
Elric
and
rồi.
water monster.
Chứ
Right,
đích
so I
làm gì
cannot
được.
bring that back then.
Love it.
Hey, ooh. Can I summon my Duotarian? Omega Plus can't do anything. I already did this. Okay. Yeah, I mean, really all I could do is just crash to bounce that back to your hand. That doesn't feel very good.
Because you lose your guy.
I do lose my guy, so I think I just have to pass. It is now your turn.
In the end phase, I will go ahead and use that Sanguine that I saved to go ahead and set. Good?
Let me take a look at this again.
I believe because I didn't use any other effects. Or no, sorry, does it say anything? Yeah,
No, you're good. 100%.
Because it's not like different from the turn it's set. That's the Regenesis cards.
Yes.
Yeah. Alrighty. And I think anything scary in the graveyard I gotta worry about?
No, nothing on your turn. On my turn, if I can get a water monster and an earth monster, I can bring back the Korin. Otherwise, the Omega Plus.
So I have time to get Haquero established. I can just get Conquistador here,
Rồi lấy
which is going to be some value. Hopefully.
Now, you know, I have the Tornado Dragon, which kind of checks that.
Really?
If I can activate it, I can chain to destroy it.
Yeah, but that's true. That's very true. And then I can't get the banishment. Card or tap before I draw.
Tap.
Alrighty.
Okay, I let the Eldritch deck gets to a turn 2. I did not succeed in taking it out in 1.
Vẫn tay còn vẫn Delta nhá.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
This is a very fun back and forth that we're having so far.
So far, it is. I think I'm going to start off with that Conquistador. Just go ahead and get that out of the way. His special summon itself, and then destroy a card face up on the field. It is not a
Nhưng mà chúng ta có thể dùng Tornado Dragon bắn chết con đấy đi.
I
Không bị
will
bắn cái gì
chain
hết.
Tornado
Chắc chắn rồi.
Dragon to detach and destroy that.
Love it. Let's go ahead and follow that
Delta.
up with Delta of Invitation. I'm just going to activate
I guess
it.
I knew you had that.
You knew I had that. I'm just going to activate it. I don't believe there's 3 copies of Eldritch in here.
I do not believe that there are.
So I'm not even going to
Let me
attempt to do it.
see.
Thôn một con Elric nữa. Format này shifter 10 để làm nhẹ deck nào thứ 3 shifter sẽ
So I'm just going to activate it. Anything.
Nhưng thành ra deck nhưng mà nhận ra rằng ấy deck bạn không hết deck để làm gì được mà để mà chơi với shifter.
Crow, the Golden Lord.
That's pretty good.
Had that, I drew that for turn.
It's pretty sexy.
Hey,
whoa.
turn would have been very nice.
I'm not complaining.
Ê, con Delta này có effect
Okay,
để
I
token
guess I'm
nhá.
just going to go battle phase then.
Okay. Actually, I
Ôi
think this is the main phase.
anh bạn
Sure
này.
is. Oh no, it's once per turn when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can target a monster your opponent controls, destroy it. Okay. I guess I would have needed to do that when you activate it, but yep, this is
Ông này đánh sai rồi, con Delta đấy nó có effect
Let's-
để token không có contact fusion ra biến thành con Elric.
The Tornado Dragon?
Yep, understandable.
Nói chung
Actually,
nhá,
let me
bạn chơi
take
kiểu
a look
format
here.
một 3 shifter nhưng bạn deck chơi được thì bạn cũng chả làm gì
Actually,
được.
no. I will tribute to special summon back both of these.
Copy.
And then now, Magnet Warrior Sigma Plus says, while you control an Earth monster, your opponent's monsters that can attack must attack Earth monsters.
I see. So I must redeclare. This only negates when I also have an Earth monster.
Yes.
And then this has an effect when it's destroyed. Or like when it's in the grave.
Yes, when this is sent to the
But not
grave, I
this.
get one back. Yep.
So I'll punch this one.
Thinking.
Rất là muốn đấy rồi.
I do this.
Đúng rồi, dùng hợp đi.
This is the kind of Yu-Gi-Oh we love, trying to balance all the stuff that we
Nhưng mà con
currently
này chỉ cho
already
main phase
have
thôi.
in play.
All right. Yes, this is fine. Hitting this.
Chết.
Okay.
And
cho main phase
then,
rồi.
during the damage, at the end of damage calculation, I bounce yours back to your hand. 'Cause yours
Dead.
That's
Okay, dead.
right. Oh, that's pretty good.
Okay, dead. What?
I guess.
This feels so big. Mẹ thực sự feel effect đó.
I guess we have some ideas here.
Like
I'm gonna go ahead
idea.
and set.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah, you
That's a
can
good
bring it
point.
back out. I think
It needs to be in the graveyard for that part.
Well, you could send it from hand with something else to destroy
Right,
it.
but that's not.
something on my field.
That's not usually a good idea, especially when I can't immediately bring it back.
Yeah.
Um,
And
Ta
you
chỉ
used your
còn một con,
Conquistador
con
effect
cháp
this
thôi.
turn, so you can't do that during the end phase.
I think I just gotta pass that funky turn over to you, my friend. Enter main 2, enter end phase, go.
Okay, I will draw for turn. That's pretty good. I also have another Sigma Plus in the graveyard, so I'll banish those two to bring back my Telusion, the Magnum Warrior, again.
Mm-hmm.
Rồi xin theo lưu
Who
dừng.
is pretty big.
Còn đi crew.
Tornado Dragon, All-Star.
I can bring back the Omega plus, but I can't really plus off of it, ironically. This one says... So how much damage do I have to do to you?
7,200.
Okay, let's count up what I have currently. This is 39, 50, 64.
I learned with playing this game for so long, like, as long as you make them do math, you're probably safe.
Yeah, it makes it way harder for me to actually find the line.
Over 8K, he can do just fine. Right about 8K, it could be a little struggle.
Why you gotta call me out like that?
I'm playing to my outs. I'm playing to my outs.
True. You are doing that. Okay, so this is how we're gonna cook this goose.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm sure ready.
This is gonna be a fun one. We're gonna go magnet bonding, and we are going to fuse these two. There's a better way I could do this, but this is the funny way.
I love the
because I want to show off a cool new card. Flux Oceanfell.
Okay.
New rock monster. Level 5 or higher. Earth monster and any rock monster, so that's these two. If it's fusion summon, I can special summon a rock monster from my hand or graveyard. I will special summon Epsilon, the Magnet Warrior. Epsilon, the Magnet Warrior on summon. Different names like control. I successfully summoned Illusion with his effect already, so I can target him and bring him back. There we go.
Love it.
This is going to be 21, 26, 13, and 25. All attacking directly.
Attack in order, my friend.
Oh, attacking. Oh, you do have a face down card. I kind of forgot about that.
I need you to declare your attacks.
I kind of forgot about that.
What the fuck?
That's annoying. I will declare an attack with Epsilon, the Magnet Warrior. 1300.
1300. 1300 is going to be good.
Họ vừa dùng con bonding để fusion bằng cách xen quá mà sướng ngộ à? What the heck?
He can only summon them in defense?
And it's also only during your turn that I can use that effect.
We love facts.
Yeah. But if you activate a card or effect, I can destroy a monster on your field.
A monster.
Yeah.
Tôi cảm thấy khá là bất ngờ đấy.
All right, so on the attack of Tornado Dragon, I'm going to pay 800 and summon Eldlixir.
Oh.
I won't get the effect of bounce because I don't control Eldritch the Golden Lord, but he will be a big booty.
I will unfortunately just chain my Flux Oceanfeld, who has a second effect. Quick effect, I can target an Earth monster you control and one card your opponent controls, return them to the hand. I will target my Epsilon and your Eldlixir. 21 will land.
21 will land.
26.
26 is
from
good.
Flux and 25 from Delusion.
Anh bạn có cần phải làm vậy không?
There we go. Friend. Oh, that was so good. I drew all the Eldritch cards, which, if I can get the blender of Eldritch going, was good. But man, you put on so much pressure. You can summon so many monsters.
The Magnet Warriors have a pretty impressive grind game, as well as initial push. My first turn, I have crazy combo. I drew really well. The DD Crow hurt.
There was probably an argument because I had the Delta
Mẹ không phải là thua với DD Crow đâu. Mẹ mình có thể đẻ token ra thôi, mày cứ làm gì? Có thể luôn, nếu tôi chọn Dominic ấy, ông này sẽ được đẻ token. Vì ông đang điều khiển một con zombie. Để token ra xong contact fusion ra với hai con Elix. To à. Cái này Elix to xong Elix to thì take control. Take control xong exit hai con lên. Thành con tàu bắn, tàu gây đam xong biến thành con 5.000 công với một ấy. Ôi trời ơi, mẹ.
I didn't need the Naturia Beast, which is normally where this deck goes, especially going first. Tornado Dragon's way more effective. I also need to remember that Delusions, when you activate a card,
tôi nhớ rồi, tên phiêu rồi, con Delta Intermission.
My trap card.
Yeah, which is still what I did anyway. But I guess I missequenced it technically on that last duel.
And honestly, there's probably an argument for me to wait till you get to Delusion to pack bit you and then put that guy in the spell and trap zone. Can
this
you
is
keep
a
this
scary
guy?
one, yeah, because that one
You can send
he can't target an Earth monster.
If a zombie on the field, sẽ summon một Delta token. Nếu chứ không chúng ta làm gì? Tôi biến thành con zombie, con Elix fusion mới, đúng không? Rồi chúng ta có rất nhiều move để làm luôn đấy.
He sure does, but
Dude, the magnets are so. I love this deck. It's good in advanced constructed.
Tôi
It's
thề
good
luôn.
in Genesis. It's just a good deck right now. Good pile of cards.
Yep. Always a pleasure to play with you, buddy. Hopefully we can do some more this week.
Chúng ta để vào đu đát mà.
Thank you for tuning in, everybody, for this second Genesis feature match. I'm undefeated. Let's see how long I can keep that streak going. Thanks for watching. Let us know which deck you liked the most in chat. We will be watching. And now enjoy the rest of the show.
Welcome back to YCS
Okay, welcome back.
We are just moments away from our round 11 feature match.
Round
ago, this
11.
might be the last round of Swiss actually heading into a top
Lát
cut,
round,
but
lát
as
round,
we well
lát
know,
round nhé.
this is
11
our
round đấy.
second round of Swiss today, and we still have a few more after that. But we are a few rounds away from making it to the top cut. Are there any surprises so far this weekend for you, Salah?
I mean, there's definitely been some surprises.
Không lên lên giờ để leo lít tôi đi người. Ai biết được.
Even in the last reach round,
phê lên mà phê lên giờ đâu có nào.
Sorry, Tombkeeper Blue Eyes doing so strong.
Yeah, we saw it match up against a branded strategy. That was my real deck to watch this weekend, and I think many of the times that we've seen it in the future match area, we see just the strength of that deck and the versatility and the ability to play in the end phase. So I think that's really played out over the course of this weekend. Of course, we've seen cool tune strategies, Dooms. What are your thoughts on Dooms? It's been in the feature match area a few times this weekend.
Yeah, Dooms is one of my picks to do extremely well along with Power Patron. Anything really using the
Trong cái lúc khởi thoảng đấy, Elic lên này, tay bên kia chỉ một drop là con Dominic và có 2 drop nha. Dominic kia xử lý rồi và con kia nữa, con kia thì biết bắn quá nhưng mà tôi nghĩ là sự bắn nổ tung ở đấy thì không có tác dụng gì éo gì đâu. Nên là tôi không phải lo.
But it is still doing really well in this tournament and still one of my picks to win. But I agree with you that Brandon.
Đoạn đấy là tôi lên Valorant luôn, tôi xử lý con kia.
Be underrepresented as far as, or it was going to be
overrepresented, 10 điểm thôi.
More so. But it actually has been coming out in numbers. It's been doing extremely well. But I think it's a bit of an even playing field between all those decks right now.
Another interesting thing to note, there are some decks that obviously saw some significant limitations on the most recent update to their Forbidden and Limited list. Have you heard anything about, let's say, Draco Tail, Yummy Strategies, Vanquish Soul, or the Canine Vanquish Soul? What are some of those decks doing this weekend?
So Yummy and Canine Vanquish Soul I've seen a lot less of, or at least if I have seen them,
lấy bao tiền lấy danh giải thôi, có
I expected to see almost no Yummy in this tournament, especially because of the popularity of Cool Tune. Cool Tune naturally has these effects that increase your monster's levels for no reason really, and Yummy just can't handle that. Them being level 2 to make them completely unplayable, so I think most players don't think necessarily think it's the reason to really write out Yummy, but there's just better options, so they chose to just play something else. I think that's the reason why we don't see it here in representation today. But Draco Tail, I feel, got the most amount of restrictions.
Cũng kinh đấy ở thời kỳ Dino Rabbit
the players that are choosing to play this weekend. I know Jesse Cotton is actually still with one loss at this point in the tournament.
Really impressive. You know, going into this weekend, it was Cool Tune, it was Dooms, it was Pyro Patrons. Some of those older strategies like Draco Tail showing the resiliency even after those significant limitations.
Yeah, I think it goes to show like the power of these spell cards. Draco Tail lost access to a lot of its most powerful spell cards. They're mostly at 1 copy now. But if you're able to resolve any of them, especially into a deck like Cool Tune before, they're able to put out RS or even be able to find a way to you can just resolve a bunch of effects at once and they can't deal with it.
Yeah, so I think it'll be interesting if we can maybe potentially see Jesse actually pilot that strategy. I know you were speaking to me that he had to make some tweaks in order to increase the starter count in his deck, and I haven't really had a chance to see the specifics of his deck list, but I'm curious if at some point we could actually see him in the feature match area.
Yeah, I
các bạn là giờ học giờ đợi mấy hôm nay thôi, bây giờ tôi chả biết tôi mở Berlin Book là check deck.
Be chill for a little bit. But we'll likely see him later on today, hopefully, but not yet.
Bộ bài này thì tôi ban đầu tôi build như thế này đấy, bởi vì tôi nghĩ là ý tưởng là tôi dùng con này để tôi search mở chin ra, tôi search được con này nên không phải lấy cắm làng này. Mà tôi nhận ra rằng cái build này không tốt như thế đâu.
So Ghost Dog is an interesting one, obviously being a level 3 tuner, accessible in Cool Tune, and that's why I think it's mostly played in Cool Tune because of its accessibility. You're able to add it from the deck in through various means, usually through Q. And but most other decks are choosing to play Hydraulis Harmonia, which effectively does the same effect.
Yeah.
Now
you were speaking about some of these deck types. Let's actually take a look at the most popular decks here in day 2. We've got 39% of players are playing Cool Tunes, so overperforming the representation heading into the weekend. 15% are on Brandon, 12% on Dooms, 9% on Elf Note.
Bọn Ozzy đang chơi cái này bởi vì có con hack Linh 3
but we see some of these decks that are from previous years
đây là bảng breakdown của cái này chúng ta có tận 39% Q2, có 15% Random, 12% Z, bởi vì cái deck này là deck tôi nghĩ là phải là deck kinh khủng ở TCG. 9% nốt, 9% nốt, 6% Mitsurugi, 5% Rico, 4% Alit.
Up first in the blue chair, representing Toronto, Ontario.
Anh tôi đó.
Dr. Dooms, aka the Thai Terror, Team
Anh tôi đó.
Sam.
Anh tôi đó.
And his challenger today in the red chair, coming all the way from Switzerland after 10,000 years of malice, it's Rico. Reichelberger! Duelists are ready on stage, so let's throw it back to the casters for game number 1.
Ok, được rồi, anh Sam.
Matchup here, we have Sam on the Doom strategy, brand new here, versus Rico on a tried and true strategy in Malice. Got a few more restrictions, not enough to stop it so far.
No, I
Đấy
think
rồi, anh
one of
tôi
the
đó.
cards that the Malice strategy
Anh tôi
gets to
ký,
utilize that
anh tôi
lines
ký
up
vào
relatively well,
con
not necessarily against Dooms,
vào
but
con
against
gì à?
Kultun is Allure of Darkness.
Vào con
I
Noroi,
really love when
ký
decks
ký tên vào con
incorporate Allure of
Noroi
Darkness.
ban luôn.
Obviously, when you're playing a deck like Malice, your deck's filled with dark monsters inherently, but it is one of the ways that you can cycle into some of those Malice effects. So even as the actual normal summons, Dormouse and White Rabbit become limited,
tôi phải làm gì đó.
the possibility
Nó
of
nhìn
digging
nó
through
khai
your
nhất
deck
có
with
thể.
Allure of
Đây,
Darkness
như là
increases the likelihood of
để xem nào.
drawing them.
Chào mừng các bạn đến với round đấu thứ 11 của trận đấu nghệ của quái xiết ngày hôm nay. Tuyển thủ là Team Samurai X với tia diệt bộ tia zero, Luzi, undefeated, không undefeated 82.
So it's decks like Malice Striker that has a lot of card draw, able to cycle
82.
The rotary less of an
Liệu
effect,
đấu với trước đội Malice, đội Luzi có thể có sức mạnh tia zero không?
For the Kultun engine to deal with, given when they have perfect information.
Chúng ta sẽ đến với trận đấu
having effects that are resilient to disruption.
Đối với Rico à? Rico tôi không nhớ là ai đâu.
Nhưng mà nên là this weekend you need to make sure your strategy slotted in well against Kultun.
Nói một fit đúng nhá, thì có một sự thật như thế này với Team Samurai, tất cả decklist của họ tuy là clickbait tia không hết, nhưng mà tất cả là decklist tốt nhất các bạn có thể tìm ra trên mạng luôn. Và deck kiểu họ cái một bài của họ ấy, nó rất là chuẩn chỉ đến mức nhá, nếu mà ông Sam này ông không biết thì ví dụ tôi xem một lần nhé, ông Sam deck biết chơi Info Drive, ông phải mời ông chuyên về Info Drive về giúp mình review. Tức là nhé, về độ làm content ông này rất là chịu chơi. Cái thứ duy nhất mà các bạn chúng ta hay hiện ông nghĩ là clickbait thôi, nhưng mà chính ông ấy tự hiện chính khả năng clickbait của bản thân mình.
When Kultun's first released, they were somewhat popular, maybe more popular than Genesis format
cũng là một tuyển thủ rất là hardcore.
But now with some of those releases in Plays and Dominion,
Team Samurai
it's very evident as to what it is that's necessary to really push that top to the top tables. Which
No, yeah, we did, but we agreed that I can start. So he just say that.
Đây bắt đầu nhá, là bắt đầu là anh bạn này, anh bạn là tia zero của tôi, anh bạn này chuẩn bị lên video của tôi, đó là tôi đánh how I defeat được Malice by Doomsday. Đó cứ thấy thôi. Đúng rồi.
The players might have already rolled.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, sure. You just let me know when.
No, we'll just say good luck. Yeah. I'll start. I'll say good luck. I'll start.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, it seems like the players had already rolled prior to this, and Sam is going to be able to start this match.
What am I supposed to do? Hear me on the?
No, I can't hear you.
Okay.
I can't hear him.
Are we supposed to hear each other?
I can't hear him.
It does not work.
Okay.
There's just some clarifications about the mechanisms of the feature.
We just hear like a rush, or at least
a static. I just hear static.
Yeah.
For what it is worth,
I can hear you.
I can certainly speak that Sam has been in the feature match area before. Rico, I
think. Trận đấu này khá là hay đấy. Tôi thích trận này ấy. Mà dù tôi đang không thích Doomsday lắm, bởi vì sao Doomsday là cái deck mà nó kiểu bị nó vấn đề, nó khỏe thật, nhưng mà tôi thấy có vấn đề đó là tôi bị spammer á. Cái deck Doomsday là nó bị spammer mà tôi không vui lắm. Nó khỏe thật, nhưng mà nó spam nó kiểu nó meta đã nói, nhưng mà nó khỏe đến mức là để meta ấy. Nhưng mà nó bị spam.
Level 3 monsters gives you a lot of access through other means.
Điều đó khiến tôi từng khó chịu.
Bị
ngán ấy. Tôi bị ngán kèo này hơi để kèo meta. Nhưng mà nói thật đấy, đây một deck khá rẻ, các bạn muốn đầu tư ấy. Tôi nói thật nhá, đây là deck rẻ thì các bạn đầu tư.
Maybe a little bit under the radar.
Oh, no.
Every time a new Dominus card is printed, you have to do that Dominus Spark fits very well into Rico's Malice strategy. What are your thoughts on Spark relative to the other Dominus cards?
Nhanh lên để tăng clickbait. Nói thôi. Tier zero vậy không thể chờ đợi hết. Undefeated.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that as well. But it looks like our players
không undefeated đâu nha, 82.
To officially start.
Yep. Sure thing.
Listening into the discussion prior, it does seem like Sam is going to start our first game here.
Nhanh lên, tôi muốn hô cái gì đó. Bởi vì anh Sam của tôi.
Alright, looks like the players are waiting for the go ahead.
Vẽ nó rồi, bắt đầu rồi. Chúng ta sẽ
Sam will be taking first in this game.
Sam đã đi trước. Let's go tier 0.
Draw face anything?
Nope.
Stand by.
All good.
Alright, we're good
stand
to enter
by.
the main phase.
Stand by làm gì ư?
Doomsday Raiders.
Vọng main phase, ok, cắm copy spell. Tôi nhớ là deck cho một Doomsday, deck cho một cạc hay là quái gì đó để gọi đúng không? Doomsday main phase deck cho con Other Doomsday cạc từ hay thằng sân, sau đó áp một lá bài lên tay, áp một Doomsday cạc lên tay và gọi nó lên từ deck. Và bạn bị lóc và nó nổ tung con sao lại nổ nằm ngang cái này? Vậy mất quan điểm quá, lại có shipper ở đây đâu một nổ nằm ngang.
But he might value specifically circumventing having to normal
Mấy
summon.
con tồn tại nó thích thế. Tôi từng giải thích cho bạn là vì sao nó tồn tại mà.
Obviously, Alara would make a lot of sense. Yep.
Lên tại
Yep, Alara is going to be summoned off the effect of Raiders here.
lên sân con này. Tôi nhớ tên này đâu. Nhưng theo tôi nhớ là tên bọn này nó
Alara is able to resolve.
nó là nó represent cái gì ấy, tôi nhớ là nghe ngầu lắm. Tên bọn này, mấy tên bọn này represent cái gì khá ngầu ấy.
Yep. Adraspia makes a lot of sense.
Lấy con sập, con equip mới, cắm lật equip mới lên chỉ vào mặt con này để cho nó tí biến hình.
Alright, Alara can now use its effect to exceed summon.
Yes.
Để exit summon,
So we spoke earlier about the value of Ghost Dagger. This would have been a good point to use it because you
lên
would
con
allow
lên medius mặc giáp.
the destruction to occur.
Director,
Director,
con này đây là director.
And you don't necessarily want to just do it on normal or special summon because it might change what is set from the deck.
Xong rồi biến hình lên con Grafio. Đây là nếu mà trong lo ấy là anh Grafia mặc giáp này đấy. Dùng vũ khí ấy. Đấy, tách chân để sớt một gì ấy? Sớt một Doomsday tiêu sát tay. Sau đó bạn thể đúng không? Deck cho một con vật sân. Đấy là một cái sân.
But we see here one of the new cards from Blazing
Bạn lên tay lá bài này.
Dooms over Graffelio, which can be overlaid over the top of a Doom's Exceed monster.
So it's not a pay, my bad. It's a
You lose.
I lose. Yeah, I lose damage. Okay.
Yeah, so Drastria can now return back from the graveyard. He's going to lose life equal to the rank or level. In this case, obviously rank.
Nháy.
To use effect to pop this.
Cái lại trong này.
And reborn, correct.
Yeah, so what's going to happen now is he's going to destroy his Graffelio and now he's going to resolve Drastria, but he's also going to be able to use the effect Graffelio, which allows him to special summon a non-exceeds Doomsday monster from his deck or
lại gọi lại
graveyard.
Doomsday tiếp. Ok.
Yep, the Drastria will resolve summoning
Alara. Đồ anh Sam mà, đúng anh Sam đó.
And
anh tôi đó.
This will likely at this point probably going to be
okay.
The Power Patron?
So it's possible.
Con này tên là gì nhỉ? Hiện lên đi, tao muốn đọc với tên bọn này phết.
So now this might be the point in which he accesses Drastria, though he still has a normal
lấy con Doomsday, lấy con to lên, và cho lên.
To Merrymaker here.
Yeah, so we haven't actually seen, at least from our perspective, commentating Doom.
Thực ra thì con Doomsday này khá là con Doomsday ba cho này nó khá là mạnh trong deck. Tức là vai trò nó khá là mạnh trong tộc bài đấy.
Merrymaker.
Yep, there it is.
Merrymaker. Để lấy get tích rồi. Regular rồi, regular.
Allow him to search a copy of Regulus from his deck, the Therion.
Thực ra là nó không xuất regular, chỉ có thể nó xuất tộc Therion.
By the way, has a myriad of dragon monsters, which not primarily important here, but machine monsters. Right, when he actually gets into the extra deck, these all become machine monsters. Right, in the main deck we're looking at dragons, the extra deck machine monsters.
Này nó thật nhé, ông này mà xuất Talio á, tôi bắn luôn. Xuất Talio khỏe vui, hay vờ lờ.
We've been watching a lot of Dooms actually go second throughout this weekend, at least in game one. The fact that the deck has both destruction and Regulus in hand, so two differing effects. that can really establish a strong board.
Và mình có thể gọi mối với từ tay nhá.
But we see here the
Bởi vì theo effect của kiểu Dominic Spark ấy là nếu mà mình không còn chat trong bộ Yugioh á, thì mình có thể gọi mối với từ tay. Đúng không? Ý là ok.
Sam looking to make Spark a little bit worse here, trying to offer additional effects.
Chúng ta có thể dùng tên để bắn bắn cái này xem bắn này chăng, nhưng mà chắc chắn là chúng ta không làm thế.
Sargus is gone here.
Yep. Go to graveyard.
Ở dưới xuống mộ.
Correct.
We'll see if Sam has an option he would like to summon from hand.
Sure.
One of the additional benefits of Regulus, as you mentioned, that being able to put a machine on
Anh
the
Sam
field,
lừa vào, anh Sam lừa
you
vào
actually
vậy.
put another Doom's monster or Doom's card face up on the field, which is relevant
Đáng nghĩ
for
mình.
effects.
I agree to
I think Sam was pained to admit that there is no
Không chọn
hand summon.
Yeah.
Ôi, anh xoay ra, anh có Rico trên tay.
Sam is.
Oh my
Sam feels
god.
as though he has laid a trap and Rico has walked into it, baited out the
Oh my
Dominus Spark, and now
god,
here
anh
comes
có
the
Rico trên
Regulus.
tay, anh đi lừa chúng ta
Bold of
rồi.
him to go into the Sargus with the Regulus already in hand.
I mean, he probably knows Rico's on Malice and then would assume that there's 3 copies of Spark. Malice might be the deck that utilizes Spark
Anh
the
đi
best.
lừa chúng ta.
And now we have the Depredo that we know.
The Dracia is going to go ahead and try to destroy the
Cắm
Depredo
equip này
here.
tức là con này có đúng dễ cạc ấy để bắn.
From the deck,
Ok.
and the Depredo will be able to add another card.
This is great because, you know,
Sub
you
bao
can
có
destroy
gì sub
Depredo
bao
through its
cho
own
nó là
effect,
sub
but it is very
một
costly because you need to use
đúng
another
gì
Doom's
cả.
card. Being able to destroy it through Drastria, though, it seems much more free, and now obviously he's going to be able to search out
Lấy
a
con
copy here
này,
of
con này khá là
Terminus.
tên khá là tôi nhớ tên khá là hay.
Let him get an
Tôi khá thích cái bài này. Được xuất được một mấy đứa tập khá là hiệu quả.
I do want to mention that there is a equipped inning
Năng lực
what
thôi.
is considered a pendulum scale zone. It's way less likely that Sam would actually want to eventually pendulum summon, but it is just something that is worth noting.
Yes, you know,
Nhảy
not
vứt
best
con
game practices
vào
there.
cho này xuống là.
It could come up later.
Tôi nhớ
Won't
con
come
này
up
có
now.
effect đúng không?
Luckily, the Doom Dirk will probably
Prohibiting
move.
bao và chọn portal Terminus. Send bao và chọn từ deck của anh trai deck từ xuống mộ.
That is true,
Sau
'cause-
đó chúng ta sẽ là áp một Dark Fairy Monster lên tay.
And I'm not sure he's going to be able to get access to destruction.
Lấy lên
but,
con này.
you know, that would take up one of those spell trap card zones as well. But now we see
Cắm
Udulian
con
added to
Pendulum.
the hand. We've seen this throughout
Nhảy,
the weekend,
ta
both in
hồi
the
sinh
power
con
patron
đi về.
strategy, but now we see it here.
Vidon's going to be able to summon back the
Dooms.
Depredo from
Nhảy.
the graveyard, and then in the
Sub bao
extra,
vợ tròn.
it'll be able to add another. This is likely going to be adding
Chúng ta liệu có lên được Varudat không?
a copy of the field spell.
Yep, the field spell would make a lot of sense. That would allow him to establish
Lấy
another
Q spell lên thì liên quan đến Varudat đấy. Ok, lấy Q spell lên tay.
Yep, seeing if there's any other options for Sam. Nope, he's going straight for the Vidolia.
Fusion Maho.
Yep, Vidolia hits the field.
Now he's going to probably reveal Jupiter from his extra deck.
Xoay Jupiter ra.
Yep, banishing any
Và
card.
bắn đi
from
một
his hand
fade
face
out cạc từ tay.
Gonna summon another copy of Depredo.
No.
This is essentially the full field.
Yeah, no, we're getting there for sure.
Chúng ta over lên Varudat.
And now we have a copy of Virus.
Hai Omnigate. Xong rồi dùng con này.
Change. Oh no, he does have the change.
He has changed.
Trên hai bắn vào con này luôn.
Quick effect. We had the change the entire time, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
And we now get to use the
This
Drastia.
This is how we're going to get destruction. Yeah. I didn't realize he still had change. Yeah. So if you're not familiar with this
Chắc lại. Như chúng ta khi con đi bị chết thì chúng ta cầm lại luôn con này lên tay.
You can do it on any card. It doesn't have to be one of the monsters. So you can destroy destruction. Then you can use your dirge though upon the activation of change, and then you can use that to destroy the change. Change has a second effect that allows you to add back to your hand one of the Doom's cards in your graveyard, which is basically a way of tutoring and searching your deck, really your
Cắm vào
graveyard for
con này.
destruction. But it is initially in your deck.
Alright, so now we have the Doom's Patron attached to the
Cắm một bao vào cho mày equip.
that could be follow up later. The destruction is now on the field. This is as many interruptions as you can ask for Sam. Rico down a card from having used the Dominus Spark.
Draw face.
And
We'll see if he's able to manage.
And if you're not familiar, destruction has another effect that allows him to equip
bad
that
my
patron, so you
turn,
might
bro.
be confused. Why did that power patron hit the spell and trap card zone? Destruction itself, because it was
Bên
destroyed, has an
này
additional
Malik
effect
có 5
that
tay.
allows you to take a power,
Úp với lá bài
Doom's
trừ
card
tay
from your deck and equip
để
it
chuẩn bị normal một con gì
a
đó.
monster to one of yours.
That is good.
And it is relevant because you can for instance, Dirge.
I will know some
Now một Jessica
or the Power Patron as a form of follow-up.
Right, Drastia immediately used on the normal summon here. This is the correct choice here. Going to go ahead
Chúng ta sẽ biến hình
and
luôn.
rank up into Drastius, and because
Boom.
of the effect of rank up, he gets to attack, gets to equip the chesty cat before it's able to activate, and that is enough.
Đầu hàng
for
luôn,
Rico
lên
here.
sân ăn cắp vào
Puts
Quip.
on the masterclass with
GG,
Doom's deck
guys.
here and easily takes game number 1.
Tier
Yeah, we
0.
finally see really what the intended strategy is of Dooms. This is a good illustration where there was a small form of interaction
Team
from
Samurai.
Rico, but it was actually sequenced in such a way where it played exactly into what Sam wanted, because he had naturally drawn that one copy of Theory on Regulus, and in doing so, we were able to see really ultimately what the Doom strategy tries to establish, where they have that Drastria interaction, where we're going to take one of the monsters, essentially do a Thousand Eyes Restrict, Husk Effect. The Verrugus is still sitting there on the field. The Destruction is still there.
Team
So we
Samurai.
essentially see exactly what we're hoping for, which is multiple forms of negation between the Regulus, the Verudris, the unique nature of the Drastrius interactions, where we're getting the Thousand Eyes Restrict effect, but then also the additional effect, plus the Thunder King Raya.
Trên này có cả chơi không đến Grand Shifter, tôi thấy giữa là chắc chắn rồi, thu bố đi, thu bố đi.
To do, and if you're unfamiliar with this new strategy, it is also one of the reasons why if your deck can incorporate something like Spear Mode, why that's been a card that you've seen in some of the side decks this weekend, because you could Spear Mode over some of these negations and Thunder King Ryo-esque effects.
Absolutely. And as we mentioned, he did go for the Sagas play with Regulus in hand, but there wasn't really another option as far as rank 4s for him to do anyway. Usually the extract doesn't consist of more rank 4.
Anh ấy lừa tôi, anh ấy tưởng anh ấy lên gan tích, anh ấy lên con này là tên là gan tích không nhỉ? Không nhớ định tích 8 lên gan 8 định xuất Regulus, nhưng mà anh ấy cầm Regulus trên tay, anh ấy lừa tôi.
Now you can argue Rico was not supposed to summon the Chessie Cat just to hide the knowledge here, because main deck Spark doesn't necessarily mean that you're on the Malice strategy, but Rico unfortunately has been known to be a Malice player for quite some time. These players, it's very likely they're familiar with each other. They've been playing throughout the tournament for so long. They're both competitors that play in several YCS level tournaments, so it's likely to be known at this point what each other are playing.
Yeah, I think that's probably the case. Rico was also in the feature match area yesterday, which it's not a guarantee that Sam went back and watched our coverage, but just through the grapevine, it's possible that he knew that heading into today, Rico, an established player, would be on Malice just by virtue of both, one, his past tournament experiences, Rico, but also the fact that he was in the feature match area yesterday.
Yeah, it's at least, at the very least, more likely to know than not to know.
And of course, as you mentioned, Dominic
Samurai
does start to narrow down exactly what we're looking at.
But Rico will almost certainly be going first here in game number 2.
Doom Zing ở đây rồi ngồi chờ bao vào trong nhưng mới được kịp TG đúng không? Chắc là thế. Các bạn Doom Zing nó phù hợp với TCG quá. Vấn đề cái deck Doom Zing này rất là phù hợp với TCG, không có gì cản được nổi nó cả. Tất cả mọi nó đều thứ được full power và không ai cản được. Deck chơi được dưới mọi gần như dưới mọi thứ.
Alright, here we go. Game number 2 of round 11.
Rồi, game number 2 chúng ta sẽ được với Malice đi trước và Doomsday của Team Samurai X đi sau.
I will go first.
Rico is declaring that he will be going first, which makes all the sense in the world.
Malice rarely wants to go second. It has the tools to do it, but rarely wants to. It would always choose to go first.
Yeah, Access Code is it's a good card.
I mean, Cryptor's a really good card.
Yep, they have both.
Rồi.
Draw face.
Draw face, anh Sam nhìn rồi, anh nặn nó có Fuawa kìa.
Sam going immediately for the Fualos.
No response to that.
No response to the Fualos.
At main face.
Trên tay ai cầm hàng ba con tổ, what the fuck, ba con tổ.
See a lot of Doom's cards in Sam's hands. You're very monster heavy.
Is that
anh Sam mình cầm dùng trắng mắt xanh rồi, ba con mắt.
I think it might be 3.
Anh con này là ba con chuột mắt mà. Chết mẹ rồi, cầm ba con chuột mắt trên tay.
I can't imagine anyone's playing only 1. 2 I think is probably the most common, but there is a reason to play 3.
I think it's obviously not a starter, but you'd rather draw it and then be able to play with multiple cards in your hand.
You have so many engine pieces, it's almost never going to just be the only card within the engine. Now, you are true. If it is, it's not a starter. But you play so many Doom's cards that I think more often than not.
Nhảy bốc phải là bài.
The worst case scenario is you don't have access to it, right?
Yeah.
Mà anh Sam cầm ba con anh rồng con này hệ rồng nhưng mà chột mắt.
Look at the power of Allure Darkness.
Yep, I mean this is the power of Malice right here. Allure
Lên thứ hai đấy. Chúng ta không được nghi ngờ nhà vô địch.
That's 4 cards already drawn.
Yep. So he's gonna have 6 in hand at the end of this.
Anh Sam tôi tin tưởng. Ý bảo chơi 3 anh phải chơi 3.
That was Martyr, yes.
The Allure drew 2. Well, no, gave him a free card on the field.
Thì đấy, anh này bốc ra rồi đúng thành tượng đéo lạ đâu, thật.
Yeah, 3 free cards here.
Basically got a pot of greed and a pot of greed that
Con này cũng 4 sắc.
Yeah, he's got
4
plus
sắc
2 if you were
cũng
to go
4 sắc level 4 á.
old school way of calculating card advantage as it used to be referred to as.
2 sắc 4 thì cũng chơi được thôi, bởi vì sao đó là chúng ta sẽ lên con Director lên con con Graphia.
You know, even into
ý tưởng đầu
Flawless,
tiên
Rico
ấy.
is going to be able to establish.
It could have only been better if he had access to
lấy Sơn Tùng MTP.
The Dormouse would have been
Sắp
able to
ấy thôi, mẹ set úp Sơn Tùng xuống. Sắp có nhạc bài mới rồi, anh em ạ. Review cho sếp. Úp xuống một kỳ. Theo lý thuyết là 2 sắc 4 full combo được.
Well, we're at 0 draws right now.
Right, but if you want to end on anything real, you're going to have to give 2 at this moment. Unless you can put a third body on the field right now.
Ông Sam kêu chỉ biết là con tên nhá. Ê, bạn sai lầm nhá. Sam đánh cực kỳ hardcore nhá. Các bạn nhìn ông ấy không phải content ông ấy là trêu đấy nhá. Nội dung content thì ông ấy là đúng. Và chính ông ấy là cao thủ nhá. Không đùa đâu.
I suppose you could, but he definitely knows.
Riêng Sam là cao thủ ấy.
Oh yeah, he did normal some of the White Rabbit. I'm sorry.
Okay, we're going to commit to the Cyber's Wicked here, which could mean he's going to extend much further.
Phải lên con này để lên Wicked là hơi nghĩ đấy.
I think he was deciding between making a Link 1 or
lấy
We're going to activate the March here now. We knew that was there from the effect of
bán đi con thỏ về nhảy về cùng.
Yeah.
1-2. Ở 1-2 bay về. Từ tầm 2012 đúng rồi.
Chainlink 1, Wicked, Chainlink 2, Rabbit to play around a potential Ash Blossom drawn off the Fualos here.
Nội dung cái tâm lý kickbase ra là tôi vừa chia sẻ đấy nhá. Đúng là ông ấy cho mọi thứ ưu tiên không thật, nhưng mà tất cả nội dung đều trong nội dung video đấy khá là hay, kiểu làm chỉnh chỉ các thứ, đầu tư cạc các thứ luôn, rất là ấy luôn đấy. Và còn phải có kinh nghiệm để chơi nhé, kể không có kinh nghiệm ông ấy mời mẹ chuyên gia mà dạy hộ luôn. Tôi vừa nói về vụ Inferno Night mà ông ấy làm đấy, ông ấy đếch biết chơi, ông ấy mời với ông giỏi Inferno Night về dạy luôn.
Sometimes Fualos's purpose, obviously it's always to stymie the opponent, but sometimes what it does is it draws an Ash Blossom, a Ghost Ogre, an Effect Veiler, an Infinite Permanence. You just have to continue to play through the hand interactions as you try to continue. But in a deck like Sam's, it potentially might just be more board breakers and engine pieces because his deck is already playing amongst the highest engine quantity overall in terms of percentage of deck.
Sân thấy Bắc Hè đó, cũng đúng, được. Ý tưởng này cũng được đấy.
How much of an end board Rico will put
đánh thế cũng an toàn hơn. Ông Sam tí để đấy xuống mộ, gửi ra xuống mộ. Được đấy.
If you have 7 cards and they're all engine pieces, sometimes it's actually perfectly fine. You don't need an effect failure on the previous turn,
bởi vì Gu này mà draw face,
or even a card like Lightning Storm. 7 actual pieces within your archetype might be sufficient.
Alright, we see the discard of
tất cả là hết Crypto không? Tôi nghĩ là hết Crypto thôi chứ không có cái nào tốt ở đây cả.
Okay, but we are able to use thrust. We're just going to be able to set a card here. Now,
nhưng mà đi ra điểm 3 rồi thì tôi sẽ úp gì? Spark, không sao cả.
I would say the banishing effects are not that useful against Dooms. They have access to those cards themselves, but we're going to go for a copy of Dominus Spark here.
Link 3.
Alright, we're going to make a Link 3 here. Cryptor. Drawing one more
card
for Sam here.
Anh Sam cầm ba anh rồng chột. Đang buồn đấy.
Very relevant here.
Bóc được 2 là bằng với. Cũng lãi đi.
The Dominus cards slot so well with the triple tactic, well, specifically thrust, right?
Nghĩ bằng nốt cắn à? Nghĩ các nốt cắn cũng là ý hay ở đây nhá, nhưng mà tôi biết ngay mà, ngắn nốt cắn. Tôi nghĩ là không nên cắn thêm đạn cho nó. Đúng rồi, cắn back up đi. Chứ cắn vào Malit để thêm đạn thì không phải là ý tưởng hay thế nào.
So Magnumut is especially powerful out of
Nháy
the
mana
Doom
mút,
strategy.
nhân tiện nhá, cả deck Doom hết là tầm.
Searching actual engine. Right? And in
Trừ
fact,
Power
like
Baton.
Rico, he'll be searching if he used Magnamut more copies of Bystials. In the
Which
case,
are technically not
they're pseudo
usable
engine.
yeah.
They're extenders more than I would call explicitly engine. But in Sam's deck, no, he's actually going to search a normal summon right now, or Drastria. But we'll see. Definitely not Drastria because he has all of them in his hand. He won't be searching the 4th copy.
We do get a copy of
Anh bạn này có thể xuất 4 copy của con đấy.
It's gonna be tough to deal with this Cryptor though.
Bên này sẽ tiết kiệm một con Malik, một đạn Malik thôi. Không thể bắn, không thể ban Malik còn Mana Mút được.
Main interruptions while comboing are going to be incidental destruction for your opponent's card, so the Cryptor being immune is going to be really key here.
Có Sơn Tùng NTP và có Spark là biết. Trên tay là một Bắc He. Sân là Hugkeeper. Chúng ta bắt đầu làm gì? Chúng ta sẽ nhảy anh Bullrek target vào Mark
Marcher is immediately online.
Take it easy on me.
Bởi vì bên kia có quái rồi nên là có được quick effect. Được đang hạ với rớt.
Not again.
I think he said take it easy on me.
No response to that? No
But,
response. Okay.
That's what he said before. But anyway.
Ok. Bạn đi Mark ta. Nhảy lên sân con Barrett có nhảy Mark Harre về không? Nhưng mà tôi nghĩ là không Mark Harre về đâu.
Hit any card summoned from.
Tôi lại vẫn đang end phase bên này. Hiểu rồi. Tức là chúng ta vẫn ban được Mana Mút và chúng ta vẫn thêm đạn. Và chúng ta được lại cái Barrett nữa. Cũng được ấy nhỉ. Tôi quên để ý chữ end phase.
And we're still in the end phase using the Cryptor to go ahead and banish the Magma as well.
Rồi, nó sẽ bốc một lá bài.
Oh, this was all still in the end phase actually, so you're not going to add back that March Hare.
Yeah, I was about to say, March Hare had already activated this turn, didn't it?
It did, yes.
Yeah.
Dominant Spark targets, right?
It does target.
Does target, okay.
Ok, anh Sam đang chuẩn bị là nghĩ hậu đệ cũng thăm dò đối thủ. Nhìn tay thấy ba quá giống nhau và con to đùng. Là 4 kẹp một cười rồi. Còn lại là và một con Duzi chơi được là normal 4, level 4 xuống. Còn lại một card ẩn. 2 card ẩn thôi. Cắm con phây bắn cắm Pedalum. Ngợ sợ chưa? Con này ép được Hugkeeper nhá. Con khỏe lắm, ép được Hugkeeper đấy, bắn một Duzi. Bắn con này và một quái vật một Duzi motor từ tay một sân. Đét cho một counter field, ép được con ấy này, ép được Hugkeeper này. Khỏe lắm. Không làm gì chết đấy. Sơn Tùng NTP thôi, phải Sơn Tùng. Được đấy, Sơn Tùng NTP, Sơn Tùng NTP chết đấy. Xuân đâu?
And also add a Malice from deck to hand.
So we're going to probably see Dormouse get added.
Yep, we're going to go ahead and add a starter here to be able to continue playing on the following turn.
Yep.
Identifying that he likely won't need to bring back anything from the grave.
Cards in?
4.
Và chúng ta sẽ mất.
You added Dormouse, right?
I added Dormouse, yes.
Marcher, Dormouse.
It's a tough situation for Sam to get through. You've seen it many times throughout Malice's history. A Cryptor as well as MTP is usually enough. Now, following with a Dominant Spark as well, Sam has his work cut out for him. But he still has several cards in hand because of the Fualos. Only 1 card committed so far. And we also got an additional card from the Magnamut. We have the starter in Alara.
Because I think one of the downfalls here for Sam is at least we think there were truly all 3 Drastias in his hand. I guess now one of the benefits is you can use a Drastria to summon a Drastria.
Bây giờ còn cái gì để đi thờ nó không nhỉ? Trên sân nhìn anh Barrett với cả Hugkeeper nhìn sợ quá. Rồi, đọc Barrett rồi.
Yeah, it's worth double checking Baldrake.
Worth noting as well, because MTP was used first, Spark has a trap card in the
graveyard, so ông bên này đang ngồi đang chơi lệch thói quen đấy, kiểu bình thường người ta để deck bên tay phải còn anh trai bên tay trái không, để ngược lại này, nên là mình cũng bên này cũng ấy. Bên làm sao cũng bị nhầm dễ hiểu rồi. Hiện tại là con T-Spell.
That is fine with me.
Activate Uzi Raiders.
Raiders is now being activated.
It's an activation, right? I have to place it.
Đúng ta phải nghe thấy giọng anh Sam ở đây đấy.
Well, Sam's intention is to now use the effect of Raiders on the field.
Dùng Rider on the field á?
I'm sorry, what's happening?
Yeah, I'm not positive.
You know, like we have to think, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, and I feel like we're both playing at a reasonable place. Like
Tôi đang ngủ, tôi ngủ ngay Sam nó.
It seems like Sam might be getting a slow play warning here.
There's no way.
Slow play warning á? What the fuck? Chết đéo gì
Didn't
vậy?
seem, at least from my impression, that it was going at a slow pace, but you know, these are the decisions for the judges to make.
Yeah, but he's just playing into a full, or not necessarily full malice field, but several interruptions here.
I actually
Vậy tôi đang không hiểu
commend
sao
both of the
này làm sao
players
bị
for
slow
being
play
very
giờ nhưng khi
particular
là
with
cứ
the
đánh cái đấy là bình thường nhỉ?
communication back and forth.
A lot of great communication between these two right now.
Yeah, they've read out basically every effect, been very clear, chain
Clarifying
links,
as well.
main phase standby, so on and so forth. So.
Hello.
All right, the players will be getting a time extension here. It seems like it's just a warning.
Chắc là bị warning nhẹ thôi chứ, chắc là đây warning nhẹ kiểu cảnh cáo á.
That's fine.
Nhưng mà nãy giờ ông này ông Sam đánh bình thường nhỉ?
And it's not just Sam, but for any player, that if this were to happen, you do need to just return back and lock in. Sometimes I've seen players lose complete track of thought.
Kiểu nếu mà
They have to rethink about what they want to do, and it only compounds the concern that the judges had about pace of play.
Ở lại vẫn phải nghe ông rớt nói gì
Sam
vậy?
just needs
Là
to
bởi vì thời
get
gian
back
đang
in the
bao
game
lại.
here. Don't let this get to his head.
You know, he is up a game inherently.
Yeah, even if this game doesn't work out, he still gets to go first again in game number 3.
How long did it take for me to activate that?
Oh, Sam needs to not make this an issue right now.
Hả? Gì ta?
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay.
Ok, Sam chấp nhận đã chấp nhận gì đó.
All right.
Activation is fine.
All right. Sam is able to continue playing here. Raiders is going to be able to activate its effect. Does Rico have a response here?
To destroy a Doomsday card in hand.
In hand to special summon Doomsday.
Tay vào sân để gọi một con Doomsday từ deck hoặc là át vào bên tay.
So we are back in, and so presumably a Drastria, one of the many in his hand.
Yeah, Rico
he
sees an option to use Cryptor here. I don't know if he really wants to.
Có thể dùng hơi Cryptor
He
ở
does
này nhá.
Alara, which is possible.
Vậy là
Yeah,
cho
this
nổ rồi. Chúng ta
is
có hai chiếc
totally
ở đây nhá.
justifiable. Alara's effect will also activate, so this will allow him to special summon a Dooms from his deck or add one to hand. Then the Alara will allow him to set.
Rico identifying that he needs to conserve his interruptions, make sure Sam has to fear the Cryptor as long as possible. Amalt hits the field here. Alara will be able to activate it.
Rồi Amathe và con này
Chain
đã
Link
quên
1
tên rồi.
will be the Alara, and then Amalt will be adding a monster in Chain Link 2.
I think it's vice versa.
Một con át quái,
Just
một
the
át
chain links.
một con át quái, một con át
Alara was Chain
nhá.
Link 1.
I think Alara was Chain Link
rồi,
2.
He just did it in the wrong order. He just said Chain Link 2, Chain Link 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Đấy, anh bạn này, anh Sam nói Chain Link 2,
I
Chain
know a
Link
lot of
1.
players will try to do it such that they play around Ash Blossom. Not that that will matter here currently, but
Lấy con Doomsday
I
to.
think he would much rather have the Amalt ashed here, which is
just to
probably
get
why.
it out of the sand, like,
Con
please Ash.
Equip xuống.
Yes, because he
Cryptor sẽ
doesn't
chặn
know
được
that he has 3
con
Drastis in his
Equip
hand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah, he's going to search another copy of Gepredo. I wonder if Rico can take that information, right? If your opponent searches Gepredo there, it might seem odd because there's already been one used this turn.
Yeah,
And you might think,
you assume there's at least a Drastia and one copy
Này,
Drastia in the
anh
hand.
or just all the copies.
Anh Sam
Like at that point, you might
rồi.
assume maybe he's on 2 Drastias, or I mean, do you really think he's on 3?
Sam
But
ơi.
minimum the 2, and they're both in hand.
All right, Drone Lockbird is activated now.
Anh Sam ơi, buồn rồi.
The
Cắm
dash
vào
is used
đấy.
on the Baldric here. That is the cool part of this card. You are able to use it on your opponent's cards, and typically this is going to be a disruption because you're able to destroy that opponent's monster.
Yep, I think Rico's going to have to clarify, like, wait a minute. Yeah, that is how Equip cards work. You can't equip your opponent's monsters with Equip cards.
I need to do this, summon Doom Z.
It is one of the reasons,
Từ tay
one of the many reasons actually, why Dooms is so good going second. All of their effects seemingly have these additional abilities to destroy cards on the field. Going first, you don't necessarily utilize every single one of them, but going second, you certainly do. And cards, of course, like this one,
Ép dùng Cryptor rồi.
Drastria just inherently can be used as a starter in virtue of having, you know, Alara or something. You can just naturally draw it as your only piece, and it can actually be somewhat meaningful.
All right, but this is going to force an interaction here. Cryptor is going to use shuffling back the Chessy Cat to banish the Adrastia, trying to keep the Baldrake online.
Rồi.
And then
Chúng ta vẫn còn bên này vẫn còn Baldrake và một con sập.
so Adrastia would have allowed him to summon probably back that Alara from the grave, or maybe Adrastia from hand.
So we still now have to deal with the Baldrake as well as the Dominus Spark, but we have Adrastia.
Chúng ta đã Adrastia lên tay.
Is it finally time to summon?
All right, second Torpedo hitting the scale here. Already used its effect, but we have not used its effect in the extra.
Yep, so now he's going to be able to destroy it, and this will actually get it to the extra deck with his Adrastia. But the problem is he's under draw and lock.
Exactly.
Bắt đầu dùng
we had another copy of March Hare in hand already, along with the Dormouse added off of MTP. This is going to banish the White Rabbit. All right, looks like
Russia sẽ cắm được con Equip vào. Tôi nhớ con Equip là sẽ là con chống Dark tức là con Dominus Spark không thể làm gì được anh Russia.
Looks like it's a copy of Doomdirk, and now in the next chain.
No, I can't, sir.
I'll trigger my White Rabbit.
Yep, White Rabbit. Both players like doing that sequence as properly as possible, waiting until the next chain.
Yep.
Chúng ta phải đấm được chết con Baldrake kia.
And now White Rabbit effect will resolve.
Nghe vàng chắc là ấy rồi.
Allowing him to set a Malice Trap card from the deck. See if he has another one here.
Hơi buồn ngủ á.
It's going to be
vì họ phải đánh nghiêm
TB11.
túc mà, chứ không phải kiểu đánh nhanh thì theo rank đâu. Đây là đánh rất là nghiêm túc ấy bạn. Kiểu bạn đánh giải mà không thể nào mà cứ đánh theo kiểu ấy được. Phải người ta phải đánh rất là kỹ ấy để chơi.
It puts me to 6,800.
Còn cái vang ở ngoài ấy là đây là sân thượng, đây là hội trường mà. Tôi hỏi nhé các bạn nhé, nếu bạn đây là một tiểu vương kiểu liên bang quốc hay kiểu nhau không biết là nói thế nào vì tức là ông Sam này ở Canada, ông này ở nước nào đó, tôi quên hình tờ này rồi, tạo thời thế thì nó sẽ như thế này. Các bạn phải bay bạn phải lên máy bay, bạn bay các nước khác để đánh bài, đánh giải, xong rồi các bạn phải đánh thật kỹ vào. Nếu không các bạn bay về, các bạn sẽ thứ nhất bạn được nhìn thấy là tiền máy bay về nhà.
Sam's going second here in this game. It doesn't look like he has a copy of Destruction in his deck whatsoever. It makes a lot of sense to side it out. I did see a copy of Regulus, so he is on the keep in a Regulus but side out Destruction. Side of things. Spoke about, do you side out both of those sort of more going first establish of the field cards? For him, he does value keeping Regulus in his deck, which makes a lot of sense. You commented on just that. Regulus out of nowhere, unexpected because it wasn't searched through Spriggans.
It came up game one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chúng ta sẽ gọi bao và cho lên.
All right, so now the change can resolve its effect when it's destroyed and add back a card. It's going to go ahead and likely add back. Well, I mean, you could add back the Torpedo, but maybe you have the Vidolia in your hand as well, and you just grab the Alara. Nope, we're gonna add the Torpedo back to hand.
Lại con này lên tay à? Hay là ổi nó lên? Không nhớ tách được lắm. Và là họ bảo với cho này lên. Chúng ta thể biến hình, nhưng mà theo tôi nghĩ là biến hình với cái tình thế mà có Baldrake trên sân là không phải ý hay. Tôi vote là đấm chết con Baldrake đi. Bằng con Dacia đang được chấm target nên con Dominus Spark không thể làm gì tôi. Không thể làm gì anh Sam chứ, anh Sam lại roleplay cái này.
Even Malazing also points to it, yes.
Đâu Sam mạnh, nó đánh mạnh đấy.
Yeah, that came from the, let's call it the third secret effect of Change. So Change destroys from your deck. Change, when it is destroyed, allows you to add back from the graveyard, but Change has a third effect that does allow you to special summon from your hand.
Yeah.
So it is one of the ways of basically circumventing the fact that Jepredo otherwise wouldn't be able to hit the field as a level 10. So the effect that probably comes up the least so far in the future match era, we've yet to see that element of Doom's Change come up. But that's why Jepredo was special summoned to the field. He does then potentially have the ability of actually using Jepredo now to upgrade it.
Theo tôi nhớ là con kiếm này nó có dùng target chi nào ở trong
chân. We're gonna
cơ.
go into Drastius first. And Baldrake targets as well, so this is all safe.
Mix gì á? Deck Malip với Video với cả Elector. Biến này anh
effect on summon. It's very similar to that of something like Scrap Dragon. I feel like that was the first incarnation of this type of effect.
On the field. Ê, cứ để chống giặc. Ê, cái này không target nhá. Đưa đây.
This is Drat. Sorry, I thought that was victorious for a second there. No, that's
con Baldrake rẻ hơn chứ. Hoặc là
This
bây giờ
is
mình
the
đấm đi.
Thousand Eyes Restrict-esque effect, yeah. So he's circumventing the fact that the Cyber's Wicked is on the field.
Nó ghi luôn ghi kìa, nhưng mà không phải nó ghi không ấy đâu, nó ghi bọn này ghi bọn
Now he can try to
coi chết
pick
để ghi
apart the
tên
field. He
ngu
wants to
cực kỳ
keep
luôn.
the Cryptor equipped to the Drastius as long as possible to limit Rico's access to it.
Yeah, if he can stay in the spell and trap card zone, there's no risk of it getting banished.
We heard Sam ask that question much earlier in this turn. Hey, does Darwin spark target? Because he wanted to get to this exact point in the game where Drastius is untargetable because of the effect of Doomdirg, and he's going to be able to limit the only two interactions that are face-up for Rico that are remaining, being the Baldrake and the Spark. And now we're going to be able to rank up the into Jupiter as well.
This does not give it an effect, right? It's an exceed material. Okay.
And then he's able to use from his hand the Drastria. So now the Jupiter has one material.
Từ Jupiter. Hình như từ con Russia tôi nhớ có em đi kết.
I will think here.
Yep.
Biến hình Jupiter rồi. Jupiter có thể
So
hồi
the
sinh
reason
một
that you
nhá.
would use that, why would you just attach? Jupiter allows you to detach in order to special summon a Dooms monster from your graveyard. Then you can destroy a card on the field, right? There's another one of those. Oh, by the way, if you do this, you can destroy a card on the field, which going second, price really valuable. Here we do see an opportunity for Dominus Spark, though.
That's going to be able to resolve here.
Yes.
So it banishes the Jupiter. And there's no summon from hand.
I will go battle.
Nếu cái mòn bắt lại một tí thì săn được con đấy là tốt rồi.
So he is not locked yet into only attacking with Power Patrons, so he's going to have to attack the Cyber's Wicked, which cannot be destroyed by battle.
Con Cyber Wicked còn chọn battle đâu?
Yeah, there was no Terminus activated this turn. So this was a turn in which there was definitely Power Patrons used, but we did not see Vidolium. We did not see Terminus, and we did not see Vidolia.
Dead.
Yeah, 2 cards in my hand.
Okay. Oh, so you mean 1 card in hand, right? Okay.
It's only negates on field and graveyard. I will use the TB11.
TB11 is going to get rid of the March Hare here to summon. It looks like we're going to summon a monster from the extra deck. It can't use its effects this turn.
Yep.
We're going to summon a copy of Red Ransom to swap the stats.
Đổi công
This is some
thủ.
advanced Malice play.
Lên con này sao đã phải đổi công thủ tí
use LSP Marcher to add it, target itself and add itself back to my hand.
It also should be worth noting that Drastrius only negates when the opponent activates an effect on the field or graveyard, so not from the banished pile. So activating March here is totally safe from Drastrius' additional effect.
Yeah, so TB11 does not negate the effects, but it cannot. It just cannot activate them. And Red Ransom is a continuous effect to swap the stats of all monsters while it's pointing to something.
Hoán vị rồi. Hoán vị.
Yeah, it's 700, sorry. Yeah, 700 damage.
So you're at 65 and you take 700, right?
Yes, puts me to 50.
Nhưng mà tôi vấn đề nhiều lớn của Sam hiện tại là bên kia nhiều follow quá.
The small things here.
It cannot. Oh, shoot. I'm a bot.
Sure.
Sam is just realizing that Cyber's Wicked cannot be destroyed by battle.
He forgot.
Yeah, really. You wouldn't expect Cyber's Wicked to be as strong as it is. But it looks like we're passing turn back here to Rico.
Would like to enter my main phase.
Yep.
Cryptor is still locked up under the Drastius, but you still have Dormouse in hand. We have Marcher in hand. Plenty of ways to extend.
Does not have an effect in if it's destroyed.
I do think this is one of those moments for Sam where it might be advantageous to potentially concede. As of what we currently see here, he has the real one interaction, those two inherently with the Drastrius.
Access code talker.
Yep, access code will end this game up quickly.
Red Ransom.
That's fine. On resolution,
Yes.
I'll use Drastius effect.
Oh, dùng effect equip.
Oh,
no response.
Drastius is on resolution here.
Bắn vào con này, nhảy, bắn nổ.
Destroy Raiders.
Quên mẹ rồi, lại quên
rồi.
rồi.
And now we're finally learning how Cyber's Wicked works.
It has 100 effects. It feels like.
Anh bị quên rồi. Anh tôi đó.
Wicked is insane. I mentioned this earlier. I knew it was going to come up several times. The monsters under Wicked cannot be destroyed by card effects.
Dưới chân Wicked.
It does that.
All right, Sam, you got to concede this game. Just try to go first, game number 3.
It's been so long.
I think that's it, yeah.
Yep.
Sees the writing on the wall. It is funny, the moment that card hit the field, you're like, oh, this is going to be a problem for Sam. This reminds me a little bit of Elijah playing against future Zexa yesterday, where he's like, I'm going to try this. That doesn't work. Okay, new game plan. I'm going to try this. That also doesn't work. Then he's like, wow, that card doesn't let me do anything. Cyber's Wicked, same deal.
Cyber's Wicked was a saving grace of Malice into the Mitsurugi matchup. You just have all your monsters under it so that the Amino Murakumo has no effect against you, and you're threatening that the entire time, so they're forced to remove any 2 bodies that you have. Still relevant against any destruction deck here.
Alrighty.
And of course, Doom's, that's the name of the game, the Doom strategy. There's a little bit, right, Drastrus has the effect, but for the most part, it's just all destruction.
Sam navigated it well with the interruptions that he thought was there. He just didn't understand how solid Wicked was.
Yeah, he didn't put that into his calculus, but...
Just Malice. Just Cyber's monsters.
It points to? Can it be destroyed by battle and card effect?
Not just her, not by battle, and the cards
Đúng rồi,
Cyber's monsters.
card effect. Ok, anh này confirm lại. Khi đang có quái vật khi có đấy đối với mình không bị chết vào card effect.
Sam's like, okay, I need to make a game plan for your Cyber's Wicked deck. I'm not playing against Malice anymore. I'm playing against Cyber's Wicked.
Con này lắm
It's like
rồi.
he's bringing the card for the first time.
Oh, I'm at... Okay, so this is not online, right? This is not online, right? Okay, I'm allowed to be like...
Anh Sam ơi, anh bình tĩnh lại. Anh Sam ơi, anh bình tĩnh nhé. Anh bình tĩnh nhá, anh tôi bình tĩnh nhá.
So there's still around 10 minutes remaining here in the round, which I think has a reasonable amount of time, all things considered.
I mean, both players have to be really cautious with
Yeah,
it with 10 minutes left.
It's kind of interesting. We commended them for declaring all of their activations and phases. We might see a little bit of shortcutting in the grand scheme of things here.
That is the price you have to pay when you are being as clear as possible. It does add a little bit of time to every little thing you do.
It's important to do.
It's necessary,
to an extent. Yeah. But I do think these players are going to recognize the situation a little bit here.
The point
make
is
some concessions.
Yeah, as long as both players are in agreement to what's happening, both players understand everything that's on the table, then that's good.
Yeah, I think so.
Tùy theo ý tưởng của bạn mà thấy nó khỏe. Bên trái là bên
And
team
there were
Samurai,
some,
ông ấy là Sam
decisions
của
made
team
by the
Samurai.
judges during this, so there might be a time extension that we're not fully aware of yet. I do not honestly know, so we'll find that out momentarily and get a real accurate portrayal of exactly how much time is remaining here in the round.
Nhưng mà bên kia tự nhiên bên trọng tài bên rớt làm gì đó.
But as they kind of settle up their side decking, we'll jump back to the booth. This is a bit of an interesting match so far. I think the comment that you made about Cyber's Wicked ended up really playing out. We did also, though, get to see in the first game what the Doom strategy, the one that Sam is piloting, is trying to do. What are your impressions of that and the end board that Sam had in Game 1?
Yeah, I mean, that is exactly the field that Dooms really wants to put up. It has the destruction to back up the entire field of Drastis as well with the Varudras. So you have the ability to equip your opponent's monsters, destroy cards. You have the negate. You have the ability to cut them off from adding cards from deck to their hand. That's pretty much the name of the game for Dooms there, without also putting up a lot of output for the following turn. But the key thing is, a lot of it is just on the field. If you have something along the lines of Dark Ruler no more or Forbidden Droplet, you are able to hit everything except for the Doom's Destruction.
Absolutely. Yeah. Another, it's something that I saw here in this game, but we've been looking at this weekend. Going into Game 2, if you were going second, are you in favor of Regulus and Destruction, just one of them, or neither of them in the deck?
I mean, I would have to go with Regulus, right? Regulus is the one that it has applications playing into a board. I don't think Destruction has as many applications playing into a board. And in a format like this where all the decks are powerful, you need to limit the amount of cards that aren't going to do nothing for you. You just want to have a maximum amount of gas to play through everything, and that's the name of the game, right? You're not trying to make the best end board anymore. You're just trying to get rid of everything your opponent has and have enough to make sure that you can end the game on the following turn if you couldn't do it on that turn.
Yeah, I think over the years that's been a pitfall of a few decks here or there where you side out the quote-unquote going first piece of your combo or the piece of your archetype, and then you realize you have to make a lower level board. But by virtue of just the interactions that take place, the follow-up your opponent was able to accumulate is actually too much for you to combat. So it is interesting to see how Dooms is kind of walking that fine line between siding out both copies. One, ultimately, I think you are correct that many players this weekend will at the bare minimum keep Regulus.
Exactly. I think Malice is also one of those strategies that does it really well, For going first, it has a lot of combo potential, but going second, it can do a lot less with the same cards. You just want to get to Cryptor, you want to deal with the cards that they have on their field, and attack like usually twice with that Cryptor, and produces a lot of damage, because when it comes back much larger. And the Malice players are able to identify how powerful Cryptor is, especially into cards like Fualis. When you're able to go first and are met with Fualis, sometimes you have to commit very little just to put a Cryptor on the field, and the Cryptor plus the backup of MTPO7, 2 non-targeting banishes is usually enough. In this situation, we saw an additional draw be given just to end on the Wicked, which clearly was worth it.
Yeah, I know. That was the entire game, I think, in this game that we just watched a moment ago. The ability to stick Wicked and have it just stay around.
Yeah, very powerful showing from Malice. Both decks have the tools to try to play through each other's fields here. We saw that Dooms made a great showing into the field. I think it was Drone Lockbird that really cut the potential for Sam there. It's hard to really deal with a Malice field as well as backup. Right? We did see Thrust into Spark. That did matter as well. So a lot of non-engine really backing up the board. That's kind of the name of the game. I don't think Dooms has that advantage. It doesn't really typically have as much non-engine available. And a lot of the more powerful ones that Dooms has been putting in, maybe along the lines of Dimensional Shifter or Dimensional Fisher, not useful in this matchup.
Yeah, there's definitely some cards I can imagine that are in Sam's side deck that absolutely will not be going in for this particular matchup.
So going into this, I know we're going to have to watch it quite soon, but do you think Malice is favored now because it has more tools available?
One of the things that I think just benefits Malice, it's a really obvious point to make, but you know, card used to be the most popular card in the entire room, let's say 6 months ago.
Lancia?
Lancia.
Yeah.
We actually did the numbers. More popular than all the Military Armies, more popular than Ash Blossom. Basically, everybody had it. This weekend, I don't think I've seen a Lancia in many decks.
Yeah, so no tools to immediately cut off those silver bullets for Malice, so we'll see if he is able to pull through. But Dooms gets to go first, and I think the players are almost ready here for game number 3. Okay, it looks like we're getting a note from our staff here. Sam is just clarifying with the judge if he can appeal. There's no issues here. We're just getting a clarification.
Yeah, I think that just something to do with the timing in that previous game. So just asking more about tournament policy than an actual judge call. So I think they're just resolving that right now.
Okay.
But they are really close to finalizing that, so I think we'll be jumping into this game in just a few moments. We'll be able to get an update on exactly how much time. I think we have a little bit under 11, but it looks like they are ready, so we'll see what the timing says. And we'll jump here into Game 3 of our Round 11 feature match. Presumably Sam will be choosing to go first again.
Excellent. Yep, it works.
Can you
say something?
Yes, yes.
Anh Sam chơi ba, tôi cũng chơi ba. Anh tôi chơi ba, tôi cũng chơi ba.
Looks like they fixed their audio as well.
Chỉ cần anh tôi chơi ba, tôi sẽ chơi ba.
All is right in the world.
Được rồi, bắt tay.
Handshake and these duelists will begin. It looks like we see a copy of Change and Destruction. So naturally, drawn Destruction not as ideal, but Change is a great starter for Sam. This is the one where Mike at the end of yesterday said, "Oh, is this the one that can't be ashed?"
Well, that one can be ashed.
That one can be, right? But if you set, destroyed a Lara, for example.
Would you look at that?
There's the Ash Blossom, but we do see that Sam has the one copy of Call by the Grave.
Is there a bell?
Is there a bell? Yeah, I was just about to ask the same question.
Lần thứ 3 tao thấy tôi chỉ tay ở game 3 nhá.
We're going to see Sam play
Anh nhá, lần game 3 luôn là chỉ tay ở bên phía màu xanh.
Only 10 minutes on the clock now. Does Sam have the wombo combo of Protect's talent?
Ở bên phía màu xanh.
To go along with the Call by the Grave?
I think we've seen a lot of talent in the feature match area this weekend. So here's a Lara.
A lot of talented duelists, but it looks like a Lara is going to resolve here as well. Rico has no more response. This is going to more than likely set a copy of Doom's Raiders. Oh no, it's going to be a Bastia.
Yeah, often you're going to want to get an equip if you don't have access to it, because you won't have access to the extra deck just through that one singleton piece. Kind of depends on the other cards in his hand.
Yeah, we're going to go into the rank 4 first.
This is the one that I, kind of referred to as if I thought it was Drastrus in the previous round, the previous game. But this is the one where you can destroy a Doomsday card, and then you can destroy a monster on the field. That second effect almost will never come up going first, though, but going second is really powerful. But we do see him then being able to overlay into Preferio.
Yeah, that's typically what you see happen nowadays. It immediately goes up into the rank 5 Preferio.
And then the Raiders. will activate. This will allow him to destroy that. And then, of course, we'll be able to now special summon a Dooms from the deck. Theria is going to resolve, and now special summon a non-exceed Dooms from the deck or graveyard.
Gọi lại một Doom gì? Lấy
This is
tay
where
anh
Depredo can come into rotation.
anh chột toát đây là gì nhỉ?
We're allowed to get this far so far.
À, lấy con Doom gì này? Sao chúng ta lên bàn là bài regular rồi? Ủa không à?
Yggdrasil PR, 1000.
Yggdrasil is using its effect in graveyard to equip itself to the Depredo.
Yes.
Correct.
Quay trở lại equip bằng người lại.
Costing Sam 1000 life points because it's a level 10.
And now he's going to destroy it.
Sau tự nổ bản thân nó đi.
Gonna go ahead and send back Alara.
Yes.
Nháy
and then Depredo will be able to trigger in the extra set there.
We've already gone through the power patron, so we're going to go into Terminus now.
Yep, and now because we have 2 level 4s on the field, we can go ahead and overlay into Spring's Merrymaker.
Then we can go into Sargus. I wonder here if he'll actually be able to search the Regulus.
Yep, is there going to be another spark here? Oh, no, it's going to resolve. We're going to be able to add a copy of the Therian Regulus here.
Regulus lên, mẹ nó may quá không lấy ta liêu tôi là vui rồi.
Regulus.
Regulus nhảy
is activated. Going to go ahead and equip the power patron, putting a Doom's card on the field.
Yep, that's one of the more desirable ones. You could obviously do Preferio 2 as an additional effect if it gets destroyed by a card effect, but Doom's power patron is probably the most ideal one, it being a machine as well, obviously a requirement for Regulus. And now we're going to see that little mini power patron package work.
Nhảy, ta cái rồi, chúng ta hồi sinh lại.
I will respond.
Finally, we have something from Rico, and it's going to be a copy of Baldrix. This is going to go after the Depredo in the graveyard.
To my knowledge, it's the only one.
No, I have power patron. Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. It's on the field.
Target the Depredo to the effect.
All right, will this prompt the effect of Regulus? You can use a Regulus giving up itself.
Does it still resolve? It tries to resolve as much as possible, right?
I think they're just going to verify exactly how
con này Rico
this will resolve.
Vẫn đang ở trên đấy.
Sam, as you mentioned earlier, putting the power patron in the pendulum zone could come up later. Likely won't, but it can.
So it's important to note that Vidolium doesn't target. So he was able to destroy it, and now, even though the Depredo isn't going to hit the field, he will be able to resolve the effect and search a power patron from his deck to his hand, because Vidolium did hit the extra deck face up, and now we're going to see the plane, the patron plane, Vidolium.
Right, which doesn't serve much of a purpose if he doesn't already have another level 10 monster on the field. He's going to have to find another way to produce a different level 10 monster if he wants to make a rank 10 here.
Yeah, I mean, he can go into Jupiter itself, like Dorado into Jupiter, but that's not as impactful. But he, he could potentially do that.
Đúng rồi, làm thôi.
Okay, now he's going to destroy it with Drastria. That's, valuable because we've yet to see Drastria. This is what will probably get him access to Doom Dirge, the other equip that we've yet to see. There it is there.
If we know he already has the destruction in hand, looks like we're just going to forego the rest of those effects. And then, yeah, there's going to be a pass in with the Baldrake on the field. Drastia has its effect online.
He's got Regulus. I think he maybe could have played a little bit longer, but again, he knows. You were saying this a lot this weekend. Sometimes you just got to do what is enough.
All right, this is very powerful here. A Dark Ruler no more into the field. We talked about how this field is almost all face up in the monster zone.
Yeah, he can do some stuff with...
But you can't do damage.
Yeah.
So, not going to be able to end the game this turn, but he's going to be able to potentially put himself in enough of a dominant position that the game will be effectively over.
Well, it
depends on if he has engine, right? If his hand is more copies of Dark Ruler or more, that does happen every once in a while. That might not necessarily be the case.
Yep, we are 3 cards down from his hand. There's only 3 cards left. But it only requires 1 mouse card to play.
It's at...
Daxia vẫn thì... Tự nhiên chúng Daxia của chúng ta ghé.
Yes, it is at 24.
Okay, I will declare we still Baldrake onto the stage.
Bên này chọn đi cái đấm rồi.
So we're going to go directly into battle phase now, just try to clear the Drastia. That's going to resolve here. He takes no damage because of the Dark Ruler no more.
No, Dark Ruler. I don't take damage.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Yeah, no damage, correct.
Very right.
Thế con chap á, chả sao được. Giờ ai biết được con Dark Ruler more.
Looks like he might not have a Malice play. Yep, there's no Malice cards. The Curse of Malice, there's not enough names anymore. Set 2 pass.
So Sam has a chance here. He's got 4 minutes. Can he deal 8,000 damage? I think it's definitely possible.
We're going to start off with Doom's Raiders here.
Đây là làm gì?
What are we going to see in response here? It looks like TB11.
TB11
is going to be able to summon a Malice from deck or extra deck here.
Gọi con gì cũng chả sao đâu, bởi vì chúng ta cũng phải lo.
Opting to just get
không có lo một tí nhá,
bởi vì
White
Rabbit can't activate its effect this turn.
Gọi thỏ ra,
but we're going to be able to get rid of that Doom's Power Patron from the face-up field off the effect of Raiders, which will able to use its effect on the following chain. Regulus is now back online, worth noting.
Không xem là món còn lại ở trên màn hình kìa,
really
trên số thời gian
powerful position. No pun intended. I feel like whenever I use the word powerful with all these power patrons, I'm trying to.
Yes, he's in a very patron position.
Yeah, but he really, I think, is in a dominating position. It's a matter of can you do the math fast enough.
nhảy.
Now we've spoken about, Doom Dirge has the ability of increasing the attack of your monster and also allowing it to attack directly. There are ways that you can one-shot with one attack with your power patrons. Those lines are a little bit faster. If you try to actually whittle every single resource down, that might not necessarily work. But if you just have Regulus to check the spell or trap card, and then you do one of those plays where you can attack directly with one of your power patrons, that might be one of the fastest avenues to win. So we do see the planet here. Banish a card from hand, face down, revealing Jupiter. Now we're going to get a copy of Gepredo. Now Gepredo's effect is going to activate, which will allow it to upgrade itself into Jupiter.
Yep, he's going to banish the top 3 cards face down, which will reduce his opponent's monsters by 300 here. For every 100 for every banished card.
Do you have any trigger?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. True.
And now he's going to put underneath it a change.
Chain Bulger. Target this.
A Balgaric is going to try to destroy it.
You might have to use Regulus here.
He's got 2 minutes.
Chúng ta tận 2 set mà, tại sao chúng ta không thể áp lực được? 2 set, 1 úp.
Yeah, he's going to go with Regulus.
Alright, it looks like Jupiter is going to stick now. Going to grab a copy of Terminus here for the effect of Gepredo. Not going to activate that, I imagine.
Well, unless he can get his power patron to attack directly for 8,000 plus damage. So now we're going to use Jupiter's effect.
Reborn and what?
Dùng effect của Jupiter hồi sinh một Doomsday.
A Doomsday for my grave.
Jupiter's using its effect now.
Just verifying. So again, why would you attach a material to it? Well, it would allow you to special summon a Doom's monster from your graveyard and then destroy a card on the field.
Và làm bài không? Reverse Shadow open. Dominic Spark.
Alright, he had the copy of Dominus Spark as well. I mean, if you don't have any Malice monsters, you have a lot of non-engine.
Vậy là chỉ mặt kia. Chỉ mặt bay
That banishes the Sargus.
Okay. Nhớ.
There are traps in the graveyard. We actually saw an activated this turn.
Có chắc không hồi sinh được cái gì hết. Nó không để gọi từ tay bên đối thủ.
Jupiter does allow you to summon any Doom's monster.
So
that is important to note. Some of the restrictions that exist. Failure, for instance, is only non-exceed Dooms. When it is destroyed, now we're going to overlay on top. Down to just 15 seconds.
And there's another Drastia.
And that's the concession. Wow. So close.
Sam able to pull it out here in the last second. It had all the damage. Rico just had nothing that game, had no starters.
Again, we've spoken about the fact that Malice is still here at the top tables. One of the issues, though, is if you're playing 14 rounds of Swiss, for example, eventually the fact that there's limitations on both Dormouse and White Rabbit will probably catch up to you. You can get this far doing as well with the deck, but again, it is a significant limitation in terms of the number of starters.
Yeah, it's one of those powerhouse strategies where it does suffer in these long tournaments, as you mentioned. You just run out of gas eventually. You're going to have those bad hands at least a few times throughout the tournament, and you can only afford to really lose twice if you want to reach that top 8.
Yeah, and Rico illustrated there that he is really well versed in the Malice strategy, so we're looking at a real master pilot. Suffer the same fate that maybe other players have had, where sometimes you just don't draw enough of those starters because the most powerful starters in your deck are in fact limited to 1 now.
Yeah.
But it's still commendable to get to an 8-2 record, now 8-3 with Malice. And there are other Malice players out there. He isn't the only one.
Yeah, absolutely. Malice is just one of those decks where you have to get lucky sometimes. If you do have a great run, you see your starters, it is one of the more powerful decks in the format. It has a lot of tools to combat some of the more powerful strategies available. But it's not guaranteed going to win every game that you play if you are able to play either. Sometimes you're just going to go second. Kultun will have the good hands. Dooms will have the good hands. It's just you're asking for a lot sometimes to win a 14-round main event plus top 8. I'm not sure if I would make the choice to pick Malice, but if you enjoy Malice, I think it can be really strong. You're just kind of gambling a little bit.
It has amongst the best non-engine, being able to play multiple of the Dominus cards. Impulse and Spark. We obviously saw Spark have a pretty reasonable impact there. In the game 3, not so much. But the earlier Spark demonstrated that it was pretty good. If Sam had not naturally drawn the Regulus, I think Spark on Sargus would have been more impactful in that first game, so illustrating just the power of Spark. Plus, of course, you're able to incorporate cards like Dimension Shifter, card that not every deck can play. It's an interesting spot right now in the format because Shifter is not something that lines up well against everything. I wouldn't say it's at its absolute peak, but it is obviously still a card. If we're going to look at almost 40% of the field today in day 2 playing Kultun, that you want to allocate that main deck spot for.
Absolutely. I think a part of the reason why these cards are so good is because they're still so functional going first as well. When you are able to go first and back up your field with that, we saw even just off of something like Thrust, you can get any trap card you want. You're still searching that Dominus card because it is just still so strong to defend your field.
Yeah, there's those situations where you naturally draw, one of those normal traps, and maybe not it would be as ideal as just having a card like Spark in your deck where you don't have to allocate a spot for, maybe different dimension ground, or previous then maybe dimensional barrier where maybe it was drawn in a combination of cards that weren't that great, but sometimes when you are being interrupted and you're able to thrust it, it's really that piece that puts your board over the top. I know sometimes you draw those normal trap cards, and when you set like 2 or 3 inches past your opponent, it's not really as impactful as you actually making a half board, being able to thrust out that normal trap and setting it. The fact, though, that you don't have to compensate your main deck or your side deck by having those cards, but just naturally playing cards like Spark, I think it's a real benefit.
Absolutely. We saw that those cards have a lot of value, but the Dooms deck was just able to take it on top this round, and we get to hear from Sam very soon, so let's take it to Kangas to hear from Sam.
Thank you very much. I'm here with the one and only Team Sam after your feature match victory. Congratulations on that. It came down to the last 15 seconds, but you were able to stay calm and cool. So talk me through that last game for you.
Rico, great player. He break game 3. You know what I'm saying? It happens with Yugioh, but that's why you gotta have the destiny draw, the Yugi,
You had the destiny draw hero.
So, great player, amazing. That game 3 was, I was scared of Dark Ruler.
I was scared.
But I didn't chain Drastia or anything like that because I had Crown set. You know what I'm saying? So if you summon some Malice, bang, Crown. You know what I'm saying? So that was a game plan. But that Dark Ruler was scary, man.
We were all freaking out, like, okay, he's got the out, and then set 2, and
Okay, I got the out.
The one called by was crazy, because if he ashed me, I passed my turn. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's Yu-Gi-Oh, man, Like, I love it. I love it.
And it's also a high-pressure moment because, you lose, you're probably not going to be able to make that push for top 8, but you're still in the running. So how are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling great. To be honest, this is my first time playing this deck.
Never played this deck before. You said you're Dr. Dooms. You told me to say that for you. Can you claim Dr. Dooms if it's your first time on the deck?
I am Dr. Dooms for the weekend.
Okay.
All right? And, shout outs to all my coaches. Shout outs to Pak. Shout outs to Nesh. And specifically, shout outs to Anthony right there. Right, Anthony, my guy right there, he coached me 1 hour. 1 hour, and I learned the deck. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that bad.
Is this true, Anthony? 1 hour? I'm getting a thumbs up.
1 hour. Anthony right there, my coach right there. He's watching like a great teacher.
That's awesome. Well, you got a lot of energy, Sam. We know that, but I want you to conserve some of it because you got a long day ahead of you. But I will ask one more thing from you. I tried to give a nyeh beforehand. Yeah. I'm not good at it. I don't know the Toronto slang. Can you give one for the audience?
No.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Sam. Back to the casters.
Oh.
You can't help but smile.
Yeah, I love Sam's energy every time we have him on stream here. He has a real passion for the game. And you saw he just puts in the work sometimes. If you don't have a deck you're truly confident in going into the tournament, sometimes you have to just pivot, play something new, and you take the work to learn it. And we saw, I mean, Anthony also in the tournament, he's doing quite well. I think he is playing the same strategy here.
Yeah, Anthony's actually known for playing Dooms. I'm not sure if it was at a regional in Philadelphia, but there was a recent regional where he was able to place in the top 8 with this strategy. A lot of the discussion points that I've had so far this weekend have really come from his theory on the deck in terms of, do you play 2 Drastra? Do you play 3? What about if you want to incorporate a copy of his Medius the Pure in your deck? So I think he's really one of the players that has invested the time to understand Dooms. And as you can see here, he's sharing that knowledge.
Yeah, that's a key factor in Yugioh, right? Sometimes you don't have to do all the work yourself. You get to talk to someone that has put in the work and just gain that knowledge as quickly as possible. If the players are willing to give you that information, sometimes it's worth looking out for.
Yeah, you always want to get into the hive mind, as sometimes you would think about it, where maybe there's a point in your life you've got big final exams coming up and you don't have as much time to play test, but there's a close-knit group of friends, and you say, hey, listen, I got a couple days. What have you been doing the last 2 weeks? What can you kind of really just fast forward, get through with me in an hour, a couple days, and how can I best prepare for the event? Some information here on Dooms from the Master, and we have Sam X2 pretty late here into day 2.
Yeah, still in the running for that top 8. This is a very community-driven game here. You want to talk to as much people as you can. You want to share your knowledge, and that is just one of the beauties of Yu-Gi-Oh! But if we're talking about the beauties of Yu-Gi-Oh!, well, let's celebrate Yu-Gi-Oh! Day here. We have a Yu-Gi-Oh! Day event on June 3rd, going throughout June 14th at participating OTS locations in America and Latin America. Celebrate Yu-Gi-Oh! Day from June 13th through 14th, 2026, and duel for a chance to win exclusive prizes, including a special game mat and field center, as you can see here. Purchase 3 Battles of Legend Glorious Gallery booster packs to receive entry into this exciting themed event celebrating the Yu-Gi-Oh! Brand and community. Visit Yugioh-card.com for a list of participating OTS locations and find the tournament nearest you. Across the Americas, stores will be hosting both Advanced and Genesis format tournaments, so there will be plenty of ways to join in on the action.
So with that being said, we are just wrapping up here our round 11 feature match. So we clearly will still continue to see Dooms in this tournament. We just saw Malice there. We know Cool Tune representing about 40%. We even saw Blue Eyes earlier today. I think that was a little bit of a surprise, but the Blue Eyes Tombkeeper deck. So we'll have to see what the round 12 feature match holds for us. But that's it now for round 11. We'll go to break and see you soon again for our next round of feature matches.
I'm here with our commentator, Stephen Darling, and he is about to show me his favorite one-card combo made possible by the new Blazing Dominion set.
Yeah, this would only be possible for that. If you hear me making a lot of Jack Atlas jokes, I have Jack Atlas on the brain, the master of faster. Power Vice Dragon by itself is such an incredible card. There's a reason why it's got 10 points in Genesis. But in the advanced format, where you could play this giant 60-card brick, you can do so many different things because, well, I know the Red Dragon Archfiend fans are probably typing in the chat right now. Did you know Crimson Blade Dragon can search Ame no Habakiri no Mitsurugi? Yes, you can, but there's a lot more you can do. We're going to at least showcase the Habakiri stuff. So are you ready to see? Well, we're going to be here for a while, but you ready for it?
I'm ready for it.
Okay.
Now this is the only card you need.
It's the only card you need. There's a lot of situations you could start the game off like this. You could top deck like this. But what's so wild is Power Vice Dragon can be special summoned when you control either no cards or dark synchro monsters. When it is special summon like that, or normal summon, you can add from your deck to your hand, and this is going to be a little bit of a deck profile right now because we got to go through this. You can get a Resonator monster, and my Resonator of choice, there's 2 ways to do this, but I like to grab Vision Resonator. You could also grab Darkness Resonator, and other fans are like, no, do the Darkness Resonator, but I'm going somewhere there. We're with this, I promise. There's the Vision Resonator. So Vision Resonator can be special summoned when you have a level 5 or higher dark monster in the field, so we'll go ahead and special summon that to the field. So we still haven't used our normal summon yet, which is important too, because we'll use it multiple times this duel. We're going to synchro summon for a level 7 Crimson Blade Dragon, brand new card out of Blazing Dominion. We'll get to activate our effects here. Let's do a Chain Link 1 Vision Resonator and Chain Link 2 Crimson Blade Dragon. This is where it gets fun. The Vision Resonator lets us get a spell or trap that mentions Red Dragon Archfiend, but more importantly, and this is such a weird effect, Crimson Blade Dragon lets you add from your deck to your hand or graveyard to your hand, or special summon, but its effects are negated, a monster that cannot be normal summoned or set. And there's a lot of things you can do. I actually do sometimes like to do something like the Bestial Lubellion and then use Magnum Attack to draw something. But for our purposes here, where is everyone's favorite cards reveal, it's Ame no Habakiri no Mitsurugi.
All roads lead to Habakiri.
They do, but this is wild. We're not going to use the effect of the Crimson Gaia just yet, but I will just place it on the field just for the sake of argument, because it's got its own ignition effect, so we'll ignite that later. But we are going to reveal Habakiri. And then Habakiri will, of course, let us special summon our Mitsurugi monster, the Tribute. And the monster we love to summon here is going to be Mitsurugi no Mikoto Saji. So Saji's going to come out here if I can find him in the 60-card stack, and then he's going to be tributed. So go back to my hand. That's cool because Sanji's effect activates. And there's a lot of different ways you can use it. If you're looking for a deck where it's like jazz, where you're just like, I want to play something different every time I sit down, this is a great way to do it. But for the sake of argument, I just want to show you the basics. So we're going to get our Mitsurugi Ritual, and what I'll do with the Mitsurugi Ritual is there's a couple ways I can use. I can Mitsurugi Ritual, I can either summon my Habakiri, but instead, I'm actually going to Ritual summon.
Bài này là chat là định nghị đây. Đợi. Bài nhá, tôi nghỉ đây.